Hello, hello. On today's show, I am finally going to talk about Wakanda Forever. Mike's got a controversial pick 3, and he's going to show us the next round of Cover Combat 3 finally. And Patrick is going to show us a collectible that he's sure everyone will lose their head over. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. As usual, I'll be your host, your fourth or fifth favorite podcaster, Kevin. And also, as usual, and back after a long break, you want to say, hey, Mike?
Hey, everybody.
And then, of course, the always reliable, amazing, horizon enlightening Patrick.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back, Mike. Thanks, Pat. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, welcome back, Mike. I like to. I'm going to try to come up with some new, awesome intro adjectives there. It was pretty good, right?
Yes.
All right, Mike. Yeah, we missed you. Tyler did a great job, though. Last shout out here to Tyler for filling in for you. He did a great job.
Yeah, he did. It was a good show.
Yeah. You were listening to it for a couple days after and kept chiming in. I was enjoying that. Yeah, it's good to get that kind of feedback from us whenever we're not on. So.
Yeah, it's tough because I was listening to it while I was driving, so I'd want to say something.
Right.
I'd have to make a quick note, and then when I stopped, then I'd be able to comment.
Yeah, it was good. And then, of course, with your return, we also get the thing that we've all been missing. Not quite as much as you, but still a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Cover Combat 3. I'm super excited to see the winners.
Yep.
And then also see the next round, which with the next round will be the reveal. We'll finally have seen all the covers that were submitted, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I like this new format that we started last time where the first 2 rounds are all the books, and then, we go there. So it doesn't drag things out on seeing all the covers.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. Yeah. Hello, Mom. Oh, sorry about that. All right, so we ready then?
Yeah, what's first?
Cover Combat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, while you run that. Yeah, I got to get my screen sharing going. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. I was going to say it probably would have been a good idea in the pregame to kind of do a show run through because we have been off for 2 weeks, so it gets all rusty again and everything. But anyway,
Yeah.
Hindsight 2020.
I'm going back and forth between my computer and my phone so I can see where we are. Okay. So you guys got everything there. Okay.
That looks awesome, although I can't make out any of those covers.
Yeah, that's okay. I know everything's very small. Even on my computer, it's all small. But when I go,
gotcha, it'll be big. Gotcha. I see.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, I'm on my phone's on a delay. All right, so this was very exciting.
Yeah.
And just amazing matchups, and some close calls, and some that were just very lopsided.
Okay.
But let's start. So we all submitted 8 covers. They were from 2000 to 2009, and we'll start here. We've got Knights of the Old Republic number 9 versus All-Star Superman number 6.
I'm gonna guess this is lopsided.
This was 65% of the votes went to the winner.
All right.
It's a little lopsided. It's not the most lopsided, but
Okay.
all right. And the winner here, All-Star Superman number 6.
Is that meant to be just 2 pictures of Super? Is that how you're gonna do it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Part of it's because I think it looks cool. The other part of it is whenever you create these, I just copy the screen, or I just duplicate it.
Okay.
And I would need to duplicate another single picture screen, and getting them, back and forth was it was just a pain in the butt. So I figured, you know what? I'm just gonna put the winner up there twice.
Okay.
I think it looks cool.
Who's this artist?
Frank Quitelli. Well, how do you say it, Patrick? Quietly? I say Quitelli.
I say quietly.
Yeah, I say Quitelli. There's probably no E after the T. I don't know.
Okay. Frank Quitely. Got it.
Yep. Yeah, he's great. Very distinct style.
Yeah, it's a great cover.
Yep.
Whose
All right.
tombstone is that? Can you see?
It's Jonathan.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Patrick.
It's his dad. Okay.
This is a story. I haven't read this series. I think I'm missing a couple issues, so that's why I haven't read it yet.
It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Oh, there's a good matchup here. Superman 204 versus Daredevil 500.
Yeah, it is. Those are both awesome.
Yeah.
This has got to be close, right?
61% went to the winner.
Wow.
39% went to the loser. So it's a little closer than the last one, but it's still a bit
Not that
lopsided.
close. Yeah.
Yeah. And the winner is Superman and Jim.
Hey, gum.
Man, Superman.
Yeah, he's walking away with it so far. Superman is the new art germ.
Man, I thought for sure that Daredevil was going to make it to the next round. Daggum, that was a great cover.
Mhm. All right, here we go. Next up, we have Justice number 9 versus Deadpool number 14. This one's a little bit closer. The winner here got 57%.
All right.
All right, let's see if. And it's.
Oh
Deadpool.
my God. Are you serious?
I am
Jeez.
100% serious. Oh, they only get crazier.
Did you mean to say that the Cover Combat 3 picks were controversial, not pick 3? Because seriously.
Yeah. I mean, there are definitely some in here that I go, really? Really? I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't counted the votes myself.
Wow.
5 times. Even more so on the ones that are like my covers. I'm like, really? That didn't win?
Yeah.
Are you sure? All right. There, yeah. So there we go. Deadpool. And next up, Teen Titans number 1 versus X-Men 205. So that's Michael Turner versus, I think it's David Finch.
Yep.
And the winner here had 61% of the vote to 39%. So this is a bit of a big win. You guys have any guesses?
I'm sure as heck hoping Teen Titans, but I don't know at this point.
I would say Teen Titans just because it's more
Typical
outsider accessible.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not as sinister.
Yeah, exactly.
It might be the reason that X-Men's up there. That does look sinister.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the winner is the Teen Titans.
All right.
Yeah,
Back on track.
Yeah, just restored your faith in
Yeah.
cover combat. It's like, all right, all the voters aren't that crazy. Or are they?
This is a great cover. Yeah.
It really is. It's hard to vote against Michael Turner. I don't think there are too many covers out there of his that I don't like. I think there's one Superman Batman cover, and Superman's forearm is just, I wish I remember what issue. His forearm is as big as his bicep and everything. It's like, geez, he has no wrist.
Well, look at Superboy's arm there.
Yeah, it's pretty huge.
Oh yeah, right. Well, yeah, it's very large.
Mike's like, actually, it wasn't Superman, it was Superboy, and it's this cover. Oh my god.
Yeah, good luck making it past this round there.
Oh, no.
We pointed out the flaw. All right. Next up.
Johnny's happy about that win.
Oh, he ain't good.
Yeah.
Where are we here? Infinite Crisis number 3. With this series, had George Perez and Jim Lee covers to choose from.
Yeah.
So they selected this Jim Lee cover, which is fantastic, versus Astonishing X-Men 26. And that's Mark Brooks, I think, right there, isn't it?
Nah, that's Simone Bianchi.
Oh, Bianchi, that's right. That's right. Yep. The winner here had 57% of the vote. Very close. Very close. All right. Can Jim Lee win again? He won with Superman 204. No.
Oh!
Astonishing X-Men.
I expected the Batman Superman to take that one, but I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yep. Yeah, but I was surprised on this one as well.
Yeah.
It's a great cover, but it's hard to compete against Jim Lee. And you've got Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
All
Can you
right.
guys hear my echo? I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah, a little bit.
I can't hear anything. Nope. All right, next up.
Johnny didn't like that.
No, he didn't. All right. Well, there's a few more that Johnny's not going to like. No, I'm just kidding.
You might be right.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 606 versus Hellboy the Corpse number. Oh, this is a one shot, I think. And this one, a bit lopsided, 70% to the winner on this one.
Who are the artists on this one?
J. Scott Campbell and Mignola. Yeah, I say Mignola. I know people say Mignola.
Mignola.
Mignola. Yeah, Mignola.
Right, Pat?
Yes, like filet mignon.
Yeah. Well, since the late 80s, when I first saw him, I was like, Mignola. I like that guy. Old habits are hard to break, All right. And the winner is Amazing Spider-Man.
Unfortunately, predictable because of, the typical voter's palate. Can't handle Mignola.
Yeah, I might as well just quit submitting his covers because they're never going to win. That was mine, folks. And I kind of feel sad because, I like J. Scott Campbell, but to me, this is like, meh.
Right.
And to have it lose against my cover is kind of disheartening. But
yeah, a little bitter. Yep.
I thought we kind of planted the seeds there with the Mary Jane, dissing Mary Jane.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping. I was like, yeah, keep talking it up that way, Kevin.
MJ's being jilted here, so don't vote for this. Yeah.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
That's right, Patrick. I'll get with you on the bitterness train here shortly.
Okay.
Emily had to hear my rant for 15 minutes on the worst part is she had some good arguments against my argument. What's that? Amazing Spider-Man. Okay, next up we have Hawkman number 6 versus Uncanny X-Men 493. The winner here.
Who's the artist on these?
Was Finch on the right on the X-Men.
Andrew Robinson.
What's that, Patrick?
Andrew Robinson.
Andrew Robinson. Okay. This one, 83% went to the winning cover.
Yeah, this has got to be X-Men, right? I mean,
does it? Yeah, you're putting a lot of faith in our voters. And it's X-Men.
Okay. That would have been doubly shocking just that it lost, but then also by 80%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So there's another one of mine gone. So what does everybody have against that Hawkman cover?
Oh.
Well, people didn't put notes.
Yeah, I got. I'm asking you to.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So I'm just saying this is very, I don't know how to define art when I talk about it, but it's like, what's it like, watercolor or something? It's like washed out. It's like very pale, and you know what I'm saying? I don't care for that look in general.
All right.
And I'm not that much of a fan of Green Arrow. So, you know.
Well, he's getting knocked out.
Right, yeah. Maybe that should help it. But no, that's, but that's it.
Johnny, if you're out there, come on. You had to have given me the Hawkman vote. Come on.
Hold on. I'll tell you if you did or not. I've got all my sheets right here. My thing on it, I think I really like that Hawkman cover. I think it's a victim of the matchup here. I think there are other books that it may have beaten. Let's see.
Yeah, no offense here, but I don't think this is a matchup. I just don't like this cover.
Oh boy.
I just, I'm trying to find words to explain exactly why, but
no, you found them.
But do you love this Hawkman? Do you love this Hawkman, Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny, is it this Hawkman you love? Not just some Hawkman, that one specifically.
Oh, let me get back to it. Is Johnny commenting? I can't see anything but my.
And let me ask you this.
Oh.
Hey, is in this Hawkman run? Did the Hawkman title and that logo and everything was this the look of the book for the whole run?
I know he did a lot of the covers for that run.
Because I think maybe that's part of it too. I don't like the banner and that logo and stuff either on there. Yeah, it's that too. Yeah. And then obviously the background's very plain. What is that? The moon? I mean, he's punching him. Is that a spotlight? I don't know. What is that?
Well, what do you like about the X-Men cover then?
It just looks very cool. And I'm always a fan of, and we're going to see later today, actually, but I'm always a fan of the big masculine tough guys kind of showing a real sensitive, especially to children, babies, kind of. I really like those kind of portraits and stuff, so.
Yep.
Even though I'm not a big Cable fan. I'm not a big Cable fan. So.
Yeah, I never.
I'm not a Finch fan. I sorry, Mike. I know you are, but that's what kind of did it in for me on this cover. And just while we're at a breaking point here, wow.
You got two of your covers removed by covers you're not a fan. That's doubly disheartening. Sorry,
three Jim Lee covers in this preliminary round, 3 David Finch covers, and 2 Alex Ross. That was the.
Is that right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
And so there's a victor. And Ann and Adam Hughes. Catwoman number 51 versus Star Wars Legacy 22.
No.
My son said both of these covers are horrible.
The winner here had 61%.
My son said both of them are horrible? Or your son?
My son, yeah. Valor.
Yeah, I had
come on, he needs to read some Star Wars Legacy. He'd appreciate that cover more. He'd understand why that cover looks like that. But anyway.
I think that Catwoman is a $200 book just because of the cover.
Yeah, I know, which No.
Yeah, it's weird. It's I know the draw to Adam Hughes. He's done better covers, but this one, it's just one of those ones that stands out.
Maybe it's because of how she is so ugly. Wow, while she's looking hot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. So the winner here had 61%, as I said. And I'm sorry, I noticed a mistake on my paper. And the winner is this was a tough one. It's Catwoman.
Oh man, dadgummit.
Yep. Wonder what those numbers, if they stand for anything.
They do stand for something, but I can't remember. Oh, that's it. Johnny got it right there.
Connected to Lost, yeah.
Oh, so you've got the Lost fans wanting it too. There you go.
Yeah, those are the digits in succession at the end of Lost. Oh, Mike, you haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Well, I knew that it was just the last episode that I didn't say. I knew there were numbers in Lost. I remember we played those numbers. Everybody played those numbers in the lottery.
I didn't. Did it win?
No, obviously. I'm sitting here with you guys and not in like the tropics.
Oh man, I don't. No offense to whoever submitted this cover. Of course, we're all just expressing opinions here, but I just want to adamantly say I'm going to be happy when this one goes away. Watch it win now.
You better hope it's not one of Patrick's covers, because you're just hoping that even more of his.
yeah. Sorry, Patrick, if it's yours personally, but don't reveal that.
I won't.
I'm going to guess this is somebody who just did a lot of commenting covers. I don't know.
All right, here we go. Oh, this is a great matchup right here. I think Johnny and Tyler were commenting on this one where they wanted it. They wanted both of these to just win and move on. So we have Amazing Spider-Man 539 versus Batman 615. And
this has got to be a close one, right?
This one, it was close, 57% to the winner.
Yeah, this is. I don't think there's a wrong answer here. Yeah.
Yep. It's Patrick, another Jim Lee cover.
Yep.
Can he do it? Can he make it 3 in a row? Because he's already won 2. And the winner is Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes. Oh wait, I'd have no opinion on which one of those I want to do.
Are you sure? You kind of show your hand every time.
I can't help myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of go me. All right. All right. And yeah, this one, you're right. Both of these covers were really, really great.
Yeah.
It was one of the ones that had to do some thinking on. All right, next up, Patrick's favorite matchup again. So we've got Star Wars Clone Wars #1 versus New Avengers #5. Another Finch cover. This one,
Did you find out who the artist was for the Clone Wars?
No, I just now remember saying I was going to do that.
Yeah.
But
man, okay.
But I didn't. This was the closest matchup.
Really? Wow.
52% to 48%. That's a one vote difference.
Wow.
Any other thoughts before I reveal the winner?
No.
Wow.
Star Wars.
That's surprising.
Yeah, and I'm bitter.
I'm surprised
because the Avengers was my cover.
Oh, dagger.
I voted for your cover.
I voted for your cover too, believe it or not, too. Yep.
Yeah. You know who didn't? My family.
Oh, jeez.
This is the one that's sticking in Mike's craw.
Yeah. That's been since the day that cover came out. I've just been in love with it. I just think it's great, but it's not about that one. That one lost.
Yeah.
About this.
I mean, it's like we said, this is a cool cover, It's
Is
just
it?
not a super awesome cover.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Scott Hepburn is the cover artist.
Wow,
Scott
yeah.
Hepburn. Never heard of him. You guys heard of him before?
Of course
haven't.
not. But you know who I did hear of? Finch.
Now, was that the Finch cover that your wife pointed out the problems
Yeah.
with?
Well, it was just it's very aggressive,
Uh,
and but that's Wolverine to me.
Yeah, that's what I like
seeing
about it.
Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but I get her point. So yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it. Next up. All right, the last two. Let me go back to this real quick. I also think people voted for this just because it's Star Wars.
But I believe that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So if it's close, I'm like, even I like Star Wars more.
Well, I don't know. You know, Wolverine's is pretty big
Yeah,
fan grab as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why that's kind of a head scratching decision to me.
Yeah.
Well, my kids are grounded, by the way. They don't know why, because I don't tell them my covers. They voted. I say, you know what, you're grounded. Just go to your room. All right, next up, Star Wars Legacy 0 versus Avengers 25. The winner here had 61% of the vote. We've got, I think it's George Perez on the Avengers, right?
Yep.
And then, I don't know half the artists on those Star Wars, especially the Dark Horse stuff. But it's a cool cover.
It's an awesome cover.
Yep. And the winner, if people are voting just for Star Wars, the winner is
what? JSA won. He wasn't even in the running.
There it is. No, Avengers. There it is. Avengers won.
Fowler said this cover's horrible too. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I started the DNA test.
Well, I definitely like the Star Wars Legacy better. Man, that's such a great cover.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like both of them. I thought they were both good, very different.
Yeah, very, very different. That's the thing. Yeah.
It's kind of hard. Sometimes it's hard. George Perez likes to put a lot of stuff in there. This one, I think, is easier to look at because there's order. It's not just a bunch of characters in this chaos.
So this Legacy cover, the cover artist was Jan Dersema.
Okay.
Thank you, Pat.
All right. And finally,
I think I know who wins this.
Well, this is JSA 73, or as everybody said, Shazam versus Fantastic Four 26.
Yeah, that's so funny when everybody does that. They just vote.
And this was actually the good old days, when they actually were calling him Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody called him Shazam. And the winner, to nobody's surprise, because I already revealed it.
I don't know. You could have done a fake out. Oh,
that is a great Fantastic Four cover, though. That's for sure.
It is. And I think this one, I do think this is a matchup. Lost to the match because it is a great Fantastic Four cover, but it's really difficult to beat Alex Ross, Captain Marvel, and it's just a real stoic, heroic pose.
Yeah,
real simple. Yeah, good luck.
Who's the Fantastic Four artist?
That was Salvador LaRocca on Fantastic Four. If I think I mentioned it when we revealed this Shazam cover was in a big long run on the JSA where Alex Ross was doing individual spotlight covers, much like, again, we commented he's doing the covers for Marvel now of all the heroes, and now they're doing all the villains.
Yeah.
Very, very similar.
Yeah. Yep. Gonna have to go seek all those out then. I think I said that before too. Yeah.
Yep. So that is the final one.
All right, perfect timing on that one, Karen. Thank you very much. And thank you, Mike. That was awesome.
Yep. Yeah, that was fun.
And that was only half of today's excitement.
Yeah. Yeah, because we still have the reveal for the next matchups. When are we doing that?
Now.
Let me get my paper.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, awesome.
Okay. First up, we have Moon Knight #1, the pencil sketch variant versus. Sorry, I think that submission is just kind of funny. Versus Captain America #6. I think it's funny because it's a pencil sketch, and those are cool. But man, good luck going up against a fully painted cover.
yeah.
It's like, hey,
that's gonna have to be a theme you're gonna have to put on the wheel. Black and white pencil sketch.
Yeah. Yeah, cover's not quite done.
Yeah, that would look awesome with some color.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it does look awesome anyway, and yeah, not trying to beat up whoever. And I'm actually not a fan of this cap cover either, so I don't know where to go. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Well, unfortunately, that's a wraparound cover, and we're only getting obviously half of it. So, and whoever submitted it, I couldn't utilize the whole entire thing. So it's just the front cover. So
interesting.
Yep. All right, next up. Sorry.
That Moon Knight cover might just make it through just because of the matchup.
So there we got David Finch versus Steve Epting, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I'll try to comment if I know who they are.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Patrick, I guess Dave Finch against Steve. All right. Next up is Green Lantern #1. That's Ethan Van Sciver versus Batman 865, Alex Ross. That's great. I love Ethan Van Sciver's run on that's the problem. I'm not a big Green Lantern fan, but his pencils, his work on those books are phenomenal. They're so clean.
Yeah, I'm not much of a fan of either one of those either. And yeah, they're both
Well, it's funny. I just found this Batman for 99 cents. I picked it up for Xcellar the other day.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be a tough one for me though. Mm-hmm. Both the first two are gonna be tough because I mean, these two are definitely better than the first two, but yeah, I'm not nothing stand out to either one to make it better than the other to me.
Let's see how this next matchup does. We have a lot of similarities on some of these. So next up, we have Alex Ross and Green Lantern. #1 versus Deadpool #13.
Yeah, that's very interesting too. Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be a tough one as well. I love the anniversary covers like that. Yeah.
Yep. All right. I love this next matchup. This one's really great. Spawn 100 versus Amazing Spider-Man 528. Mike Deodato and I don't know if McFarlane did that. I don't think McFarlane. No, that's Mattina, I think. Francesco Mattina on the Spawn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is an easy pick for me. That's a great cover. Yeah.
Easy pick for me too. Yeah.
I've never seen that Amazing before. It's pretty cool.
Yep. I like the gold. All right. Next up, what do we have here? Amazing Spider-Man 520 versus Superman 211. Huh. Boy, that Batman Superman run with Jim Lee. Everyone was going to that well. I did it. I had some like later picks. I picked a few and just ended up not choosing them, and luckily I didn't.
More Mike Diodato. Not a fan of him either.
Really?
It almost looks like, I'm wondering if he did that Deadpool cover also.
The one, this one?
Yeah, do you know?
I don't know. He very well could have. I don't know. No, I don't think he did that one. We'll look it up.
Yeah.
So there we are, Amazing Spider-Man versus Superman. And next,
those are both awesome.
Yep. This is great. I have a story about this Green Lantern. So we've got Daredevil 13 versus Green Lantern 43.
Oh, nice.
So the Green Lantern cover was submitted as a backup because one of the covers that they submitted was either already submitted or out of the Dateline parameters. So I said, you got to send me another one. They sent this one, and it was better than the one that got eliminated.
Well, we all know what happened last time.
Yeah. Yeah, the backup makes it. That's cool.
This is very cool. That's a very interesting Daredevil cover. Yeah.
Yep.
Who are the artists you say?
Is it David Mack on the Daredevil?
It's Joe Quesada and David Mack. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And then I don't recall on the Green Lantern.
Who is that? DM. It's probably the interior artist, Doug Mankey. Yeah, Doug Mankey.
Yep. And it's so funny. I just stumbled across that Green Lantern book the other day too. It's so funny. I've had these up here, and then I'm looking through books. I'm like, oh, hey, look, there's this book. It's on our cover combat. All right, and finally, next up, we have another Green Lantern book.
Oh my gosh!
Green Lantern 21 versus Civil War 7. I'm not even a Green Lantern fan.
Who's the artist on it?
McNiven on the Civil War, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that I don't think that's a Van Sciver on that one.
It's Ivan Rice on the interiors, and it almost looks like it could be him there too.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Never seen it before.
Yeah, if only somebody had looked these artists up.
It's very interesting how we've got so many Green Lantern covers and like none of them are green.
Yeah. Well, let me see who submitted the Green Lantern covers. Nope. Okay, different people. Yeah.
Oh, really? It's not who we would think, huh? For everyone.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Green Lantern covers, and we have 3 individuals submitted.
Oh,
them.
wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep. So that was
cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Yep. So it wasn't all the same person, Tyler. Venom.
Yeah, Tyler loves him some Green Lantern.
Yeah. Tyler, like, hey, here's my 8 covers. Venom 1 through 8. Get out of here.
Yep, that is Ivan Reese.
Okay. Hey, is that more Finch? Action Comics 868 versus Moon Knight #2. And Gary Frank on the action, and I think that's Finch again on Moon Knight.
Yep.
That's right. Yep.
More Superman, more Finch.
Yeah.
It's weird because they always talk about how Superman's a hard sell, and nobody likes Superman, and we're getting all the Superman covers.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, man. A good Superman story is just so easy to love if it's done right. We all have the way we feel Superman should be. Mm-hmm. And when they don't do that, it's like nobody cares. But do Superman the right way, and it'll be good. All right.
I'm not a fan of that Superman, though. He looks too skinny. Look at him; he's so skinny.
I think it's a good cover. I like it. I like Gary Frank. It's hard for me to pick apart a Gary Frank cover.
Yeah, never heard of him.
Or his artwork.
Never heard of them.
I'm just kidding.
I've been reviewing the
Junkyard Joe.
Junkyard Joe book. He's been
Yeah.
and all the Geiger books. Yeah, that's his recent stuff. All right, next up, this is a great matchup here. We have Uncanny X-Men 500 versus King Size Hulk #1. So that's I think that's Michael Turner X-Men.
Yep.
And who's on that Hulk?
Art Adams.
Oh, that's right. Yep. I'm an idiot. Yep, Art Adams on the Hulk. So once again, Art Adams shows up. It's good to see him making our lists.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now, I'm still bitter about the Batman Art Adams that got eliminated last time right away. You guys don't remember that? I remember.
I remember.
All right. And I don't even want to show this next one. Moon Knight #9 by David
You
Finch.
know, I meant to ask you that. Oh, and I obviously never did. But I meant to ask you if there was some rule about resubmission. You know, if it was in a previous cover combat about not resubmitting it.
We did talk about that wasn't allowed.
Right. This one wasn't in any of the other ones, though, was it?
It was in the first one.
I think so. I think it was in the last one.
Well, no, because the last one was these are all dates.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no, it was in the first
so
one.
familiar?
It was in the first one.
We'll have to go back and look because I know. Even Johnny says so.
I'm telling you, it's in the first one.
Because I know Finch had done that whole run.
But we talked about. So I remember this cover specifically because we all observed how, with how dark Punisher is, it's kind of you even lose him in noticing he's there on that moon. And we had a conversation about that kind of look on that cover. Yeah.
Was I on that show? I don't remember that conversation.
Must have been another cover combat fill-in person that did all the tallying and
yeah, you can never say you weren't there on a cover combat show.
Right.
I'm gonna isolate and shout out next week.
I do remember I guess it was this one. I thought it was a different cover from this run, or I would have declined it. All right, so here's the rule. Everybody just vote for the Avengers. Sorry to whoever submitted this.
Avengers moves on automatically.
Yeah.
And David Finch wins either way.
I'm going to guess that whoever submitted it the first time probably submitted it this time as well. That's what I would speculate.
Probably.
Maybe that person might not watch all the shows and didn't know the rule.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Johnny, they all look the same.
Oh, because they all look the same.
And they do. From that run, I mean, except for when Spider-Man was on there, but that's just because there's a splash of red. But yeah, everything else just really, there's a lot there. So, all right.
Okay, so I'm not crazy though. We did discuss that that something can't be submitted again once it's already lost.
Yeah, if the parameters allow for books to cross over in the timelines, like these are all specific to years, but if we get into everybody has to submit David
artists
Finch
or characters or whatever, yeah, exactly.
That'll be the day Patrick taps out. It's like, what? Finch? No, I'm out. You guys in 6 weeks and go. Or everyone will be like, okay, this is Finch against, obviously this is Patrick's cover because it's not a Finch cover. He submitted someone else. All right. Next up, we have.
So, seriously, just to finish this, go back real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Just to finish this conversation, are we being serious, or are we still including that? I mean, people can vote for the Moon Knight, right? I mean, I know you said that jokingly, but I'm just clarifying for people.
Yeah, because I mean,
it slipped through the cracks, so we're allowing it, basically, right?
Slipped through the cracks. But if everybody knows what's good for them, I don't want to say.
All right.
All right. Next up, we have Marvel Knights Spider-Man 17 versus Batman 608. Going back to that Jim Lee Batman run.
Yeah.
Is that
No.
Deodato on the?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
It's Billy Tan on the interiors, so it's possibly him there.
And I think that Batman is a second printing. Which, I mean, I really, really hoped that Batman would go up against the Superman.
Yeah,
that would look great. Yeah.
So, but it didn't.
Well, now everybody vote for the Batman. Oh wait, did that Superman? No, that Superman made it through, right?
Yeah. But that
still
Spider-Man's a good.
Yeah.
I mean, that Spider-Man's a great cover too. It's weird, and I think when John Romita does it the best right now, when Spider-Man is all beaten up and shoveling his face mask, his mask is all ripped and his costume's all shredded. I think he looks awesome.
Yeah, he does. I was actually going to say, we've had conversations, I feel like regularly recently about, I've seen this pose a million times, seen this look in this, a million times, whether we were talking about Ghost Rider or talking about Batman on the Gargoyle, all these things, right?
Yeah.
And in my mind, I think I appreciate covers more when they're like this Spider-Man, where it's kind of got some kind of action or feel for the story in the cover,
Yeah.
But then anytime we have these like stoic, portrait kind of setting covers, I always pick that. I always love them more, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I'm full of myself. I subliminally obviously like just the stoic normal or standard portrait cover, whatever,
The Spider-Man cover, Steve McNiven.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So he gets another one.
Yeah.
I like McNiven. All right, and the final matchup and the final two covers to be revealed, we have Catwoman 65 versus Batman 675. So it's Adam Hughes, and is that Tony McDaniel on the Batman?
Maybe.
Yeah, I can't recall. But I like Rain on covers. I think John Romita Jr. does the best Rain. Anything on this?
Awesome. Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna say I'm not an Adam Hughes fan. I don't know.
Oh, no way. Oh.
I think you can get in the line. It's a short line, and I think right now I know of one person in it.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I guess the only reason I'm going to say that is because I'm just not loving the Adam Hughes covers a lot. But I wouldn't have said that before today. Now, but you're giving me a lot of evidence, so I'm just. I guess I'm coming to that conclusion.
I remember at Baltimore, the first. Well, it was what 2018. When did we go? 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Adam Hughes was there, and there was this long line coming back. Not surprising. And then the line went right past Jeff Lemire's table. So we're walking up and Kevin goes, "Holy cow." And I think he asked Jeff, he goes, "Is this your line?" And Jeff's like, "No." "Where's your line?" He goes, "I don't have a line." So we just walked right up to Lemire's table. He was just sitting there by himself with no line. And yeah, Adam Hughes, that line was, it rivals guys like Walt Simonson and stuff like that. It's huge.
While I actually don't mind this Catwoman, she looks good. I think it's I hate that Catwoman title. First of all, what the heck is that?
Yeah, I was never a fan of that trade dress.
And then, just kind of, I guess the layout of the rest of the background. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it.
Then Batman looks all mean in the rain. He's all angry because he's getting wet.
Yeah, that's awesome. That looks really cool. Yeah, most of I think I've got again, and I think I've said this every cover comment. I have during every round, I've got maybe two that are tough, two or three that are tough. The rest are pretty easy picks. Is that how you guys typically find yourselves as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, like this round, there's 4 that are easy for me to pick. And then, then the other ones. But I would. This is the thing also, I would probably vote against one of my covers if there was truly a better cover.
Oh yeah, I voted against mine once. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I love my covers, but then and that's what I picked all mine. I'm like, yeah, these are all winners. There's no way these can lose. And then everybody started sending me their covers. I'm going, I am dead in the water. This is just not gonna be good. So that's it.
Hey, can we do a real quick?
That is the longest.
I was gonna say, can we do a real quick run through, like just pop them all up? Like, I want to see them again. But I mean,
okay. Yeah.
1,
Right.
2, nice. 3, okay. 4, gotcha. Nice. Okay. Interesting. Nice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, once you go back through them, you're like, oh yeah. These are good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a few that are easy picks, and the other ones you really got to put some time into it.
Yeah, maybe there is 2 or 3, more than 2 or 3 that are tough. Yeah. All right. Once again, though,
It's fun.
great job. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, man. That I'm listening to you, and every time you say, and finally, I'm like, daggum, it's over already. That's how exciting it is. That's for sure. So everybody, get your votes in. You can vote here. You can vote on Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, of course, some of us just message Mike directly.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have no wait on this one. Next week, we'll see the winners of this round to get round 3 going.
Well, we'll see the winners of this round and also the matchups for the next round.
Yeah. I'm just saying. We've officially seen all the books at this point. So, yeah. Okay. And then who knows? Maybe next week, I might throw in some kind of incentive. Once, maybe I should do that this week because now we've seen them all.
Well, to be fair, we've already eliminated half.
Oh, right. It should be next week. Then.
Let's eliminate this half, and then people can claim their covers
after that. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Okay.
Yep.
All right, but excellent work on that. And 2, I didn't tell you yet, Pat, because you weren't here yet, but excellent work on that graphic for Mike's background. That is very cool. So
yep, thank you.
Awesome work all around. So okay, now we ready for me to shine?
Yep.
I've got a lot to say this week too. I am cocked and loaded. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Shouldn't it be loaded and cocked anyway? I mean, I know the saying is cocked and loaded, but shouldn't it be loaded and cocked because you load and then you cock it?
Yeah, right? I think so. But then, one of our favorite places to eat is Eaton Park.
Right. Yeah. I always have said that about Eaton Park too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got some interesting stuff as usual, of course. And some stuff that we've discussed a couple times already that I'm finally going to give my 2 cents on. But let's start with this one. This is called Vesper. This is a 2021. This is a French movie. So this is actually dubbed. But it is it's done really well though. I didn't even know it was dubbed for like the longest time. It's done so well. And I get all my lists of best sci-fi movies and most amazing blah blah blah, all those lists, and this one was on there. And I thought it looked cool for sure. So I checked it out. This is on Amazon Prime. And I don't know whether did I say it's 2021? And there's there's no big actors and actresses in this, except there's a couple identifiable ones, at least to me. Rafaela Chapman is the main star of this, and then Eddie Marsan. He's like this background actor that I've seen in a bunch of stuff, but I can't really pick them out of exactly what movies they are. But anyway, this movie Vesper takes place in this dystopian future where spoiler alert, we've destroyed the planet and
Again.
yeah, again. And basically what's happening is we've destroyed the planet to such a point that only rich people have resources, and everybody else, there's not even any plants that can be made for crops and stuff. I think there's one plant that's like this fictional plant that everybody's just eating that all the poor people have to survive on. And of course, on the poor side of the spectrum, there's like one guy that's the boss of everybody in that spectrum too. And basically this story just follows this girl as she's taking care of her father, who, it's very interesting. They don't have anything to eat, but she's got like this android that it's actually a drone that is her father's soul, I guess, for lack of a better describe it, in this drone. And the drone kind of follows around while her father is actually bedridden, and she has to spoon feed him and bathe him in bed. And he's basically a vegetable, but his persona is in this drone that follows her around. You see right over her left shoulder in that poster, that's the drone. It's just this big ball that kind of floats and follows her around. And basically she comes across this wreckage in the woods and saves this girl from it. And this girl is actually from the rich side, and we find out, or the rich part of the world, and come to find out she's very important there. So then now rich people are looking for her in the poor side, so which she doesn't exactly want to be found. It's kind of complicated. Exactly. It's kind of political, actually. Nothing like modern day politics stuff, but just in this future politics of the way things play out. And that's kind of how the whole movie plays out. It's just her getting to know this girl and them becoming friends, and she's learning about how the poor people live. And this little girl's a genius too, and she's trying to find a way to not only save her father, but also basically get all poor people out of this horrible life they're living. And it's pretty tricky. It's got one of those endings that you weren't expecting, kind of thing. And the biggest reason that this was put up as a top-notch sci-fi film is for its visuals. It's very striking and beautiful, even for this drab world that they're living in. It's very artistically, like I said, beautiful. It's really good visually. The acting's good, dialogue's fine, story's pretty interesting. I like this one. I probably give this a good solid 8, 7.5, 8. This ended up being real good from beginning to end for me. It's a little on the slow side. If I had one complaint, maybe that might be it. But honestly, with and the score is good too. So like, even though it's slow, with the score and the visuals, it still makes it interesting, even when nothing compelling is happening. That kind of thing. So
yeah.
But I liked Vesper. Check it out.
It definitely looks good.
Yeah.
It sounds good, but even the poster, because we all judge movies by their posters.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say poster approval on this one. Got it.
Yeah. And does this does this take place in Ohio? Did it start in Ohio? Because we might be there.
No.
Okay.
No. It's
just a joke about Ohio burning right now from that train.
Oh yeah, from all the chemicals and stuff. No,
Whatever,
yeah. I was actually trying to think though if it does say where they are in particular. I don't think it does. So. All right, then I watched Extinction on Netflix. This is a 2018 movie. Are either one of you familiar with this?
Nope.
No. Are we destroying the planet here too? Or just each other?
All right, I'm gonna completely divulge exactly what happens in this movie, but it is a big spoiler, so I am going to put up a spoiler alert on this one.
That's the funny guy from Ant-Man, isn't it?
Yeah, Michael Pena. Yeah,
Michael Pena. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
And then
remember
that's Lizzie Kaplan. She's in a lot of stuff too, right?
Yep.
And then Mike Coulter. Luke Cage. He's in a lot of stuff. He's in this.
Three Marvel Universe alumni here so far.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, what was she?
She was in the one shot where they found the Chitauri technology. Their little short, remember?
No,
Yeah, I forget what it's attached to.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, that's again, I say this regularly too. When I find all these movies with recognizable actors and actresses, it's always a little dumbfounding to me. But once again, I'll say, I guess there's just so much; it's impossible to catch it all. But so here's the spoiler for you, Mike. Basically, the answer to your question is yes and no. So, and that's kind of the twist with this movie. Okay. So the way this movie starts is we're just following a normal days in the lives of Michael Pena, and this is his wife. And he basically he's got like this PTSD without the traumatic incident actually happening. So he's got a PTSD happening where he can't sleep. He actually has he'll actually have daydream nightmares or whatever you want to call it, where aliens are invading the planet. And like I said, he's having these nightmares, but it's never happened. So we don't know what's going on. He doesn't know why, but it's ruining his life. It's preventing him from sleeping. His wife is fed up with him because, of course, since he'll black out and be late for important things and so all this kind of trivial things. But then, of course, as you can imagine, what he sees starts to happen. It's actually these visions of his actually start to come to fruition, and now and he's able to deal with it. So it's kind of a cool twist on setting up this premonition as if it's PTSD, and then later we find out it's actually he's been looking into the future, and aliens are attacking the planet, and he knows how to deal with it, and he can deal with it because he's been kind of practicing in his dreams. It's really kind of cool. But
is this just a one-time movie or is it a series?
No, it's a one-time movie. Yeah. Then we find out that the aliens and when the aliens are attacking, they're all like in this alien type gear, right? So we're totally assuming they're aliens. But then Michael Pena actually kicks one of their butts and takes off their helmet and finds out these aliens are actually humans. Okay. So the humans created AI, like, androids to help them with their day-to-day life and everything. And of course, half the population of the humans abuse these AI, right? Like treated them like slaves and treated them poorly. What?
We can all assume that if we ever got to that point, that part of the population would do just that.
Yeah, exactly. So then the AI gets so smart though. So then they revolt. And then they actually beat the humans. So the humans actually had to escape. They left Earth and they went to Mars to live. Okay. So Michael Pena and his wife here are actually androids.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool twist. So the humans are coming back basically to reclaim the Earth from the AI.
Right.
Yeah. So-
yeah.
What? Were you
No,
gonna say?
that sounds really cool, and it not directly follows. Like Descender is similar to that, where AI got out of control, and they ended up. That's what it was all about. Robots and everything were outlawed and were destroyed because of how out of control it got. And that's a legitimate fear that people have, because AI it learns, it doesn't forget, and it reacts faster than we can even think.
I guess.
So, and isn't that crazy though? There are people out there going, "Hey, let's do this. Let's make this."
Well,
and you're going,
yeah.
No, let's not.
I've actually seen some videos lately. I guess all the smart people that are in the know of that kind of technology, half they disagree with each other. Half of them are like, "Yeah, this is too dangerous. We can't do this," and the other half are like, "No, you're stupid. They're only going to do what we tell them to do." You know, that kind of thing. I guess it's not a settled disagreement or agreement, right?
Yeah, and you've got even the cloning people. They're cloning stuff, cloning a sheep, cloning that. Now they've got like woolly mammoths, and they're bringing them back. It's Jurassic Park too. Someone's gonna go, "Hey, I got this T-Rex. Let's go ahead and bring that back." Why?
Right.
You've seen the movies. We've seen Terminator. All this AI stuff.
Right.
So anyway.
Well, so anyway, with me telling you how this story works out, here's what I have to say about it. I'm conflicted. So I'm actually going to give this 2 ratings. I'm going to give how good of a movie I think this is, which I think it's probably like an 8 too. It's 7.5, 8, somewhere around that, swimming around there as well, as far as how good of a movie this is. But as far as whether I personally liked it or not, I'm conflicted, because this movie's actually set up as the humans are the bad guys. Like the humans, since they mistreated the AI had reason to revolt. And then when the humans come back, they're set up as the bad guys again. I mean, my spoiler alert's still up. The AIs win a second time, so the humans have to leave again. And then basically it ends with them talking about, okay, we got to get ready for them because they'll be back, Yeah. So like the humans are just trying to, get back to Earth. And these AI, these, artificial beings are preventing that and kicking them off whenever they come back. So it's like I said, it's like the humans are set up as to be the bad guys and the AIs are the good guys. When I guarantee, and actually there's an example of one human in this that doesn't hate AI. And there's actually a little bit of a deeper story because it was like 60 years after humans were originally kicked off Earth that this happens. So like all the military that's coming in are actually, typical military, like most of them are 20 somethings that never knew what Earth ever was. Right. And they've been indoctrinated on Mars to believe that all the AI that's on Earth are like, Terminators, like are these crazy, monstrous, dangerous beings. Meanwhile, Michael Pena and his wife are arguing about why didn't you pick up your daughter from soccer practice? And, they're just living normal human being lives, Yeah.
So it's, that's the thing of it. It's artificial. It's not real. So you can wipe them out. They're not real. Do they start to have, there's that whole thing. They try to get them to have human emotions and stuff.
No, that's exactly what happened. They're living like humans. It's a surprise to them when they find out they're androids.
They don't even realize it.
They don't even know it. Yeah.
Because the AI is so advanced and complex, why did it take them so long to figure out that it could be humans coming back to take the Earth back?
Okay, so Luke Cage, I forget his name. He's actually one of the top AI people. And basically what they did is whenever they first kicked the humans off the planet, they did a brain wipe of all the AI.
Okay. Yeah, that explains it.
To believe that they were humans. Yeah. And only 2 or 3 of them, the top dog AI, knew the truth,
Yeah. Okay. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening with Michael Pena. His programming is, getting all dysfunctional. That's why he's having these PTSD, memories of things that didn't happen, whatever, you know. So
Yeah.
anyway, like I said, it's an interesting story. It's kind of fresh in my opinion. And I think it's a pretty quality movie, but I'm actually going to lean to, I really didn't like it, but I can appreciate it was good. And it was a good story, you know.
It sounds like it would have been a pretty cool reveal and stuff. But your reason for not liking it, is it mainly because it makes the humans out to be the bad guys?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So, all right. Whoever's spoiler alert, people can come back now. Oh,
yeah.
what were you
and
gonna say?
Also, that's a boring poster, if that's even the poster.
Well, I couldn't find, you know, as usual, whenever I'm looking up a movie, this isn't really even the poster.
Okay.
Well, and I don't know what the poster is, and I don't know whether it has a poster technically because it's a Netflix movie, whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
But when I looked up Extinction, like 80 different Extinction movies came up, or TV shows. You know, it's pretty commonly used, so I couldn't find an actual poster. This is the only one that I found. Yeah, but that doesn't have like Michael Pena or anything on it, so I didn't want that one either. I saw that one too.
Right.
All right, and then excuse me, I watched Awake. This was also on Netflix, and this is newer. This is from 2021, and here we go again. This has Gina Rodriguez, she's the virgin, whatever, right? And then I liked her a lot in Longmire. This has Ariana Greenblatt, which is that little girl. She's from this Disney show that my family loved. We watched a lot too, where she was the youngest of a bunch of 6 kids or whatever. This also has Jennifer Jason Leigh in it. This has Frances Fisher in it from Titanic. This has Finn Jones, Iron Fist. We got Luke Cage in the last one. Now we got Iron Fist in this one. And Barry Pepper, who's from a lot of stuff, but I can't remember them all right now. But anyway, what's that?
He played Dale Earnhardt.
He did?
I think he was probably in Saving Private Ryan too.
Yes, he was in Saving Private Ryan. Yeah. Yep. So anyway, this is another interesting story. As far as Fresh is concerned, I guess. So we had A Quiet Place, where what's the deal with The Quiet Place?
You can't make noise.
Right. Then we had Bird Box, what's the deal in Bird Box?
I didn't watch it, but I'm guessing you can't look at stuff.
Right. Guess what the problem is in Awake?
You can't go to sleep.
Exactly. Nice. You played that perfect, Mike. That was not pre-planned either. That played out perfectly. So something happens. Some kind of pulse comes over the world, and no one can sleep. So here's where it gets wonky, where I don't know what the deal is with this, but would you eventually lose your mind and die if you couldn't sleep in a period of time, Patrick? Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah, I don't know. I would think that'd be the case, though. I think I would.
Okay, would you die because you'd go crazy and do something stupid, or would your body like literally deteriorate and die?
Thanks.
In your thoughts, what do you think?
Probably just go crazy.
Okay, I would buy that too, right?
Yeah.
But the premise in this movie is that you'd actually suffer organ failure and like you'd physically deteriorate to death, right? So if you going crazy from not being able to sleep wouldn't kill you first somehow, okay? But that's the premise of this movie. And the little girl in this poster, she can sleep. What, Mike?
Marcus just informed me the little girl was from Stuck in the Middle.
Yeah, Stuck in the Middle.
Right,
That's it. Yeah. Okay, Karen says at some point your body will shut down. Okay, yeah, that's what they say in this. Okay, so like I said, I didn't know what's fact or fiction here. Obviously,
don't come to our podcast for medical advice, but
right, exactly. So anyway, this little girl can sleep. Okay, so of course the scientists want her. to study her, to figure out why she can sleep and no one else can, so it's this race against time for this mother to get her daughter from where she currently is to this scientific area where they need to study her. Not only because every day that goes by and no one on the planet is sleeping, people are dying, but also because the world is getting more chaotic, And ironically enough, the first thing they do is set it up is half the people, when they find out this girl can sleep, want to kill her because she's half of them are half of that half of them are like resenting her and like want to be vengeful, that little, and they want to kill her. And the other half are like, oh no, she's special, we must sacrifice her, this craziness, right? So anyway, it's this adventure. She has a son as well. So this mother has to get her son and daughter through this craziness to get to the scientific lab where Jennifer Jason Leigh is actually the scientist that she's trying to get to study her daughter. And I'll kind of leave it there. It's kind of part of my problem with this movie is a lot of other movies. It's kind of anticlimactic once they get there, not really much to say. But the adventure is crazy. The adventure to get there is madness and chaos everywhere all the time. But as much as I appreciate the original idea of the premise of this movie, and the ending wasn't horrible, it just, like I said, was anticlimactic. Boy, the rest of this movie is so bad. The the writing is horrible. Nothing makes sense as it's happening, and the dialogue is, if it could make you more confused as to why things are done the way they are, they confuse it even more with saying stuff that doesn't make sense and out of order. It's like, I'm serious. It's like so crazy how bad this movie is. Visually, special effects wise, action wise, it's kind of okay. But just the dialogue and the way this kind of plays out is just, it's really bad. I don't recommend this. I give this maybe a 2, literally. This would probably fall under. This will probably fall under if we ever get around to doing like our top 10 best worst kind of things at the end of the year. Man, this one was so bad. And it was so odd though, because I wasn't hating the experience of watching it because of the other original things and the things that were done well. It's just so distractingly bad in all the other ways. It was such an odd experience, but I don't recommend it overall unless you want to see a train wreck. Don't check out Awake, so.
All
right. Speaking of train wrecks, I finally got around to watching Wakanda Forever.
I knew this was next.
And man, I'm just gonna, like I said, come out guns a-blazing right out the gate. I truly was shocked how bad this was. I'm serious, Pat. I know you said you thought it was pretty good. Okay.
I didn't watch it, so I'm gonna just sit back and watch you guys fight it out a little bit.
Well, Pat, obviously, when you gave your review with no one else having watching it, you didn't give too many specifics. Karen enjoyed it too, Pat, so you're not alone. Should I put up a spoiler alert on this? I mean, it's been so long now, right? I don't know if it's a spoiler alert this, right? Should I?
Probably not. I mean, yeah, it was already in the theaters. It was already pay. It's now on. Is it on Disney now? It's
yeah.
So it's free available. So yeah, it's
yeah. Okay.
From what I hear, it's terrible. So good.
Patrick liked it though. Obviously, Karen said she enjoyed it. All right, here's what I got for you, Pat. Okay. First, the first 10, 15 minutes, appreciating obviously Black Panther dies and the tribute there and the emotional stuff there. I'm good. That was all good. I didn't start hating it then. Okay. Then though, So this is the first thing I'll say. This movie's 2 hours and 45 minutes long. And, I wanted to make sure I did my due diligence to say this accurately. I actually timed this. I checked, and not to the second, but to the minute. There is literally 31 minutes of action in this movie. This is 2 hours and 15 minutes of drag on, slow, emotional. It's so slow. I literally was suffering getting through the entire thing. I couldn't believe how long this was and how slow it was. Like if you're going to make a long movie, you better have it be, in my opinion, obviously this is all my opinion, action packed, especially if you're a Marvel superhero movie. Let's get some action going. You want to make it 2 hours and 45 minutes. Awesome. Make it Endgame, but 2 hours and 45 minutes with 31 minutes of action. That blew my mind, first of all. Second of all, Riri Williams as Ironheart looked like something out of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I couldn't believe how I thought she was done so poorly. I thought she looked ridiculous. I thought she looked fairly goofy, but understandably so when they had her in her kind of garage outfit before she, was able to get to Wakanda and got it all polished up. But then once she got it all complete, I guess, I don't know. I thought she looked ridiculous. So I didn't care for her at all either. And then Shuri as Black Panther. She is about as intimidating as, what did I say I said this to Tyler and Pat. I was like, as a schoolgirl on a defensive line of a professional football team. I mean, it's like, man, does she weigh 95 pounds? And, is she more than 4 inches thick? I mean, she is such a tiny woman and she's so skinny. And I think it actually made her look worse in the way that less intimidating, worse when she put the Black Panther outfit on, which I would have thought that's when she's going to look bad butt, but she actually looked worse in my opinion at that point. So I didn't care for that. And then, excuse me, all right, Karen's chiming in saying it's not the size, it's the power behind her. Yeah, no, I get that, Karen, but we're talking about, my comment is completely based on intimidation looking. I mean, there's nothing scary about her in this, or not scary, but, intimidating. Yeah. So anyway, then lastly, Patrick, here's what I really want to hear what you have to say about this, okay? And you'll be my Johnny here. And what I mean by that is anytime I've had major disagreements with Johnny, I'll throw this off of him. He might throw something right back at me. You might change my mind. I could completely change my review at the end of what you have to say about this, Pat. You ready? How do the Submariner and Shuri and her mom meet? Under what circumstance? Why is he coming to see them, right? What's the reason?
Let me think. Because he found out that they had a way to discover vibranium.
So they wanted, so Submariner wanted Wakanda and whatever Submariner, what is it? Talcid? I can't pronounce that. What's it called? What's Namor's race? Whatever. Talcadins?
Yeah, I didn't. It didn't register with me.
Okay, so anyway, Namor wants Wakandans and his people to join forces to protect themselves against the surface dwellers, because the surface dwellers are on the search for vibranium, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the premise of the entire story. And basically, what did Shuri tell Namor?
That she wouldn't harm Riri.
Well, when he originally wanted to join forces with Wakanda, what'd he tell her? Or what did she tell him?
Remind me. It's been 3 weeks since I saw it.
No. She said, no, we can't do that because Namor is actually, this is another thing that's surprising to me. I thought he was going to be kind of a good guy or more than he was. I guess it's arguable at the end. He's kind of a good guy, whatever. But through the entire movie, he's the bad guy. And so anyway, Shuri says no, she won't join him. And then what happens after that? They end up killing one of Namor's people. So then Namor attacks Wakanda and ends up killing the Wakanda queen. And then Shuri and Namor get in a big battle, and Shuri kicks his butt. And then her threat to him is yield and we'll join you. And he's like, okay. It's like, that's what he wanted from the beginning. I don't, it doesn't make any sense. It seems like the whole journey not only was pretty much pointless, but then also, secondly, she says no just on the face of it because she thinks he's a dangerous man or whatever to begin with. But then after they kill one of his people and he kills the queen, then Shuri is willing to give him the option of living, and then they'll join forces. Made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, man. Can you make sense of that?
I don't think the idea at the end was to join forces, was it?
Well, I guess become allies. I mean, is that the same?
Yeah.
But I think her quote at the end is yield and we can be allies or something like that. Or real close to that.
Yield or I won't kill you. She was against killing him. And the idea that she would promise not to reveal where they were.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying it wasn't about them becoming allies. It was just about, I've shown my dominance over you, and so you stay where you are and we won't kill you, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
After he's killed the queen.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was a mistake to kill the queen off. I think it's too much power put on Shuri,
Yeah.
Just like a fast forward button to get to her to be the queen. But obviously at the end we see that there's some things going on that people might not be entirely happy with her being the queen. So that's for future movies or whatever. But
you're talking about the M'Baku cutscene or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I thought this was like 97% trash. I mean, and even the visuals in general, I didn't care for the way. Did you say you liked the way Namor looked?
Yep.
I didn't like the way Namor looked at all either. I always say this too every time this comes up. I look back to when Green Goblin first came out. I hated the way he looked, but then I ended up loving the movie and really liking the way Green Goblin looked later. So I was hoping for that with Namor, but man, after my first viewing, I still didn't like the way he looked at the end. Man, it just didn't. It didn't. He doesn't look anything like any comic book picture I've ever seen him anywhere.
He does to me. He just has that sort of Aztecian overlay to him. I still hate Green Goblin to this day. I never warmed up to that Power Rangers disaster. Okay. But yeah, I was iffy on Namor when I first saw the shots. I was like, why are they changing him this way? But I didn't have a problem with it.
But you warmed up to it. You said, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really.
He's got the green Speedos, the pointy ears, and the wing ankles. How much closer to the comics do you want? Those are three things that I never would have expected them to do.
What'd you say? You said the wing ankles and the ears. What was the third thing you said?
Green Speedo.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I guess he just didn't fit the part. I guess I always envisioned Namor being like an Asian guy. I guess I don't know.
I will agree that I think Riri Williams was shoehorned into this movie. I think it wasn't a bad idea to make her the person that super genius or whatever, and she figured out a way to locate vibranium.
Yeah.
But rushing the whole Ironheart thing, I think, was a little. I think that's just their plan. They want to introduce these new heroes, and I don't think it was necessary. But
yeah. And then lastly, the last thing I have to say is a comment that we've talked about before. So Qui-Gon can't survive getting run through with a lightsaber. What's her name? The sister she can survive getting run through with a lightsaber, right? But apparently now Shuri can also survive getting run through. And she was run through with a spear right through the middle of her waistline.
It's just purple flowers, man.
Yes.
Synthetic purple flowers.
Well, it sounds like I need to watch it then. Because I've got Karen
apparently.
and Patrick saying that it's good and they enjoyed it. Got you saying you didn't enjoy it. Now I need to.
What'd you give it out of 10, Pat?
I somewhere in that 7.5. I agree. Like I mentioned, Valor checked out halfway through. He was bored. So
yeah, man, it is. That is a good way to put it. It's boring.
But
And
I would have never registered that this was like close to a 3-hour movie. It just,
really, it didn't feel that way to you at all, huh?
Nope.
Man, I was having a hard time getting through it. I was so bored. But Karen, what do you give it? I'm gonna give it a solid 4, 3 maybe 3, 4. Karen, what do you got? Pat's got a 7. Johnny must not be around. I don't know whether you watched this or not. Johnny, what do you think? Karen gives it a 7 too. All right, so
I'm probably just gonna give it like a 6 right now. And I can go up or down now.
And I'm gonna. This is a good way to lead right into
that laugh track. It keeps on going.
All right, then of course, 2 episodes of The Last of Us came out since the last time we talked. Correct, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. Episode 4 and episode 5, and I will basically piggyback on to a little bit of Wakanda here, in the way that, man, this is my problem. I guess I don't know, and I'm for lack of a better way to describe it, saying it's my problem. I don't really think I have a problem here. It's obviously just my opinion. But man, when I go to watch a MCU movie, especially if it's 2 hours and 45 minutes long, I expect a far majority of it to be this action adventure ride. And just to revisit the last time we talked, talking about episode 3 with The Last of Us. I don't even know if I've said that yet. Here we're in the. What's up? Hi, Louie Barry. We are in the midst of talking about The Last of Us here, and I didn't care for episode 3 because I thought it didn't fit in what I was expecting to get out of a fungus zombie, futuristic danger type world. And then to lead that right into episode 4, I felt the same way about 4, man. I literally said to myself after episode 4, I was like, if this continues, I'm not going to continue watching this show because I'm so bored. So episode 3 was this love story, obviously. Episode 4 was building the relationship between them more. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Man, I'm trying to remember episode 4. I watched them back to back, and all I remember is the end of episode 5.
Yeah, they had a 5-second. I may be exaggerating there, but they had a really short. They all end up the same, I feel. Okay, they had a really short battle, I guess you'd call it, at the end of episode 4, which is kind of what needed to lead into episode 5. But aside from that, episode 4, all it was kind of situations of him and her talking and getting to know each other. And she got into telling some jokes though, which I did laugh. She was pretty. It was not that the jokes were really that funny, but his reactions. And then I can appreciate them getting together. And that let me say that too. I don't want people to misunderstand me too. I can appreciate feel goody stuff. It's just whenever I'm getting it, when I'm not wanting it or expecting it, it just bugs me. That's kind of my feel on it,
Yeah, I kind of think this is, a lot of people had similar qualms with The Walking Dead. Where's all the zombies? Where's all the action here? That's not what the two shows are about. Like the Last of Us is about Joel and Ellie, overlaid with the fungus creatures on top of it. It's about them, not really about the rest of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is called The Last of Us, not the rest of it.
Well, on that same thing, The Walking Dead is the title of The Walking Dead. So anyway,
yes, but the humans are the Walking Dead. That's the idea behind that too.
yeah. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I understand that. Here's what I have to say. Here's my response to that comment, Pat. Episode 5 kicked so much butt, in my opinion. This, that, and the other way. It made me more angry at episode 3 and 4 because, and I'll ask you this straight up, Pat. In episode 5, would you agree there was just as much emotion and relationship building and all that good stuff? I can't even read that paragraph yet, Mike. I'm in the middle of a sentence. There's just as much of that as there is in 3 and 4, except there's the other good stuff too that makes it great as well. You see what I'm saying? That's why I loved 5 so much. So what's your response to that? Don't you think there was just as much of that awesome stuff, relationship about the people stuff in 5, but it also had the zombie and the post-apocalyptic humans fighting action in it as well? What do you have to say about that?
That was only in 5 though, right? 4 didn't have much. Yeah, 4 didn't have much. Yeah.
Okay, so Mike Collins is commenting on Wakanda Forever. He said, I think I missed some of the character arcs for Wakanda Forever and what Shuri has to learn as her people's leader and overcome her grief. I didn't miss that stuff, Mike. It just bored the heck out of me. It was just too slow for a Marvel superhero movie for me. Like I said, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying I can't appreciate what was going on and why they did it. I'm just saying it was boring. And that's not what I want out of an MCU movie.
The thing I'll say about that is that's the point. What are we in, 20, how many movies in? 30 movies in?
Yeah.
They've started to have different types. There's more, some that have the more humor, some that have more action, some that are more of a drama. That's just the way they can't all be the same, is what I'd say.
Yeah.
They can't all be all out action.
They can't all be Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's put it that way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm obviously just giving my opinion, and I appreciate the all out action. Maybe I'm a little resentful to, or feeling the way I feel. Maybe not resentful that I feel like it's been a bait and switch for me. I've been all in for so long with so many things. And then, like you said, they're changing so many things and they're writing in so many different ways. And they've got so many different types of stories. How am I supposed to discern which ones I'm going to enjoy? And then when I watch it and I don't like it, I'm just expressing my opinion. You know what I mean? So, I do have this to say about The Walking Dead too. I think The Walking Dead is another good example as to my problems with The Last of Us in the way, since we're kind of comparing them, is the first few seasons of Walking Dead, I think, had a great balance of not only the human interactions, and it's about the humans, but also with the zombies in a backdrop in such a regular way and how that affected them and all that and the other. I think that they did that so well in the first few seasons of The Walking Dead. And then I think that kind of jumped the shark a bit for me in the later seasons. That's why I kind of checked out. But like I said, what say you about episode 5? Don't you think episode 5 was awesome, first of all?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I really liked episode 5. I liked the two brothers that were introduced. I thought they were great. Their whole story was awesome to me.
Yeah, definitely.
and you were emotionally invested in them too.
Exactly.
It was so easy to attach to them, and yeah, that's what was so great about that, I think.
That's exactly what's kind of my point for episode 3. You were becoming ingrained with those two characters, but their story was supposed to overlap with Joel and Ellie's, showing that you have to continue, you have to care for somebody else. That was the whole point. I think that's I will say I think they spent maybe too much time on that episode, but the thought behind it was there. It was all meant as an overlay, having Ellie read the letter at the end. That it was like a metaphor for their relationship, that you have to carry on about somebody else. And that's why I think that episode gets too much hate, because people overlook, the message behind it.
Okay, what do you think I'm missing if hypothetically I never saw episode, or let me restate that, actually, not never saw episode 3, but I watched the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes of episode 3, and I didn't watch, what was it? It was an hour and a half, right?
It was longer.
Yeah. So I didn't watch the middle hour of episode 3. Okay. What am I missing?
About caring for somebody else, I guess, is what I would say.
I totally get. I'm not tracking with that.
To the same level, though. You got to know the two characters. If you chop out the whole middle section, there's not the emotional impact at the end. That's my opinion. But
I know. That's what I'm asking for. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just think it wasn't worthwhile. But like you said, a lot of people, Karen said, my niece said it's her favorite episode, so it's all just a matter of opinion here. I don't ever mean to be so adamant about my opinions that I try to judge or kibosh anyone else's, to make that clear. This is just how I feel about what I'm looking to watch. But I thought, again, I can't talk up episode 5 enough, how that, in my opinion, was perfect. I got the
Go ahead, Mike. You haven't been saying much.
So episode 5. So episode 5 had the balance that you're looking for. Had the human balance with the monster balance. Yeah.
The action balance, in essence, because the monsters were obviously a very short period of it. It was as much as human versus human as it was monsters. You know.
Okay.
So, yeah.
There was action there, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and spot on, Mike.
Yeah, I'm cantankerous today.
The only weird thing about 5 was, for the first time, and I haven't played the game, but for the first time, the scene at the end with Joel in the second story of the house, I was like, that's a video game right there. Yeah. You're Joel. Right. You're
yeah, Pegging,
protecting somebody.
Everything is trying to attack her. Yeah. Which I thought was cool.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's in the game, but it just seemed very video game-ish to me.
Right. But man, literally, I won't spoil because it is such a great moment, but literally the end of that episode, that broke my heart, man. I literally, I don't, it was a jarring, 5-10 minutes there,
Yeah, it's not just what happened, it's how the characters reacted to what happened and stuff. It's like, holy cow, it's really heavy. It's really good.
Yeah, it was awesome. So Last of Us is back to top tier, in my opinion.
So that one just pulled you right back in. That's what they're doing. They're treating you like a yo-yo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, all right, get away, I'll get back here.
The next episode, I'm gonna learn how the first person got sick. I don't know. It's gonna be super slow and dry. But anyway,
Emily was telling me there are, I watch things on the surface. I don't get a lot of the hidden stuff, but in the very first episode, I guess the fungus had started to spread through flour, and in the first episode, she was going to have pancakes, but they didn't have pancakes. She was going to get him a birthday cake, but she never got the cake. She was going to have cookies at the neighbors, but they were raisin cookies, and she didn't want those. So there were 3 times that
she avoided flour.
That they almost had flour. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting observation. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Well, that was
yeah,
exhausting.
Need to calm down. Let's get into some more fun stuff. I actually, yeah, man, I feel like I might be a little bit hard on Wakanda Forever right now because I was actually an unknown defender of Wakanda Forever, meaning I heard both sides and I wanted to believe it was good. And since it made so much money, I was even more so believing, oh, it's got to be, these haters are just haters. It's got to be good. You know, it's making so much money that I do put a lot of stock in box office numbers. I believe for it to make close to $1 billion, it's, you know, a lot of people have to like it. It's got to be good, you know, which obviously is, I must be, you know, in the minority since it did almost make $1 billion. I might have made over $1 billion now, I think. But I think maybe I'm a little hard on it too, because I was a defender and I was so hopeful and I was expecting more. So, you know how that works, you know, when you're expecting more and you get less, it makes you even more angry than if you didn't know what to expect, you know? So anyway,
yeah.
Anyway, we'll see after you watch it, Mike. We'll save the viewers another review of Wakanda Forever, though. We'll just have that conversation behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So, all right, we ready to get into some funner stuff or more fun stuff?
Yeah, some more fun stuff. Some more controversial things, right?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. That's one of our teasers at the top of the show. This should be interesting. Are you ready, Mike?
Yep.
Here we go. Awesome.
So you're talking to myself during the dang. All right. Oh, you know what? I said, oh yeah, I'm ready. And then I start lollygagging and I had full screen and everything. Let me get over here to, holy cow, I'm way down here. Hey, guess what time it is? Pick 3. All right. So, I've got to say Tyler did a great job. I liked the covers he put up there. It was a lot of fun. And it was kind of fun to just sit back and have someone else do it once. Thought that was cool.
Did you vote, Mike?
Yes, I did. I voted. Everybody in my family, the normal people, we all voted. I sent Tyler everything.
Good deal.
That's good to hear. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's good to hear that you actually were able to kind of step back and enjoy it too. Maybe Ty might be willing to fill in for you anytime you're looking for.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anytime on a Monday, I'll look, and if I'm struggling, I can only find 2. Like, hey, Ty,
let me hand this off.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we've got Saga 62, Fiona Staples, Nightwing 101, Bruno Redondo, Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 5, Raza, Immortal X-Men number 1, Mark Brooks, Lazarus Planet Omega 1, Jen Bartel, Titans United Blood Pack number 6 by Derek Chu, Star Wars Yoda number 4, Mateus Manhanini. That's a difficult one. Savage Avengers 10, Jeff Shaw. Planet Hulk World Breaker number 4, Ken Lashley. And finally, Sabretooth and the Exiles number 4, Takashi Okazaki. So, nothing upside down there for you to hate, Kevin.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say this too right out the gate that man, I thought this was a great week. Pat, what say you?
All right.
Yeah, pretty good. Yep.
Okay. Yep. I was thinking the whole time, man. I was like, man, this is so good. Took me a while to pick. I had to look like 2 or 3 times before I could decide.
Yeah, I always use Mark as a pretty good gauge for what the kids are going to think, and he wanted to pick all 10, but I told him he couldn't.
Okay.
You got to pick 3. All right, so we had a tie for second place. So with my tiebreaker work, wait a minute here. Okay, yeah, I put things out of order. Number coming in third place, we have Lazarus Planet Omega by Jen Bartel.
All right, I'm glad this one's up here because I didn't pick this one. I think everybody in my family did though. But okay, this is kind of the same look, and this is why I'm glad that we have these things happen so I can express myself better. This is the kind of same look that I have a problem with that Green Arrow Hawkman cover, Pat. How would I describe it? It's like soft or something, right? I mean, I'm not a fan of this. Maybe? Soft, flat. Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's great art, but yeah, that's why this one fell out of the top 3 for me. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. It's great art. I like it. I was surprised that it actually placed, especially with, there's no spoilers here. Sabretooth and the Exiles. That's a great cover. It got 0 votes. And I thought for sure that would get something.
Oh, I got something. I know why that got 0 votes. Pat, do you have an opinion why that got 0 votes?
No, nothing really stuck out at me.
His left eyeball, it looks like it's coming out of the socket. It was just too much for me. That's why I didn't pick that one. You see what I'm talking about?
It's
hard to see the right eye in that shot.
I vaguely remember what you're talking about, Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit wonky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So and number 3. And number 2 actually had the same amount of votes, but the tiebreaker put it in second place. We have the Immortal X-Men.
Nice.
Oh, very similar pose. So I guess, I mean, not exactly the same, but
Yes.
Mark Brooks. I mean, Mark, he's just a phenomenal artist. So, all right. And then, so the controversy comes with the first place winner. It actually didn't win, but I was persuaded. First place. So,
boy,
this one, yeah, it didn't win, but it did win. But there's always a way to counter that, right? All right, joke's over. Thank you, Ken. Star Wars Yoda did not win.
Hold on. Wait, what?
It didn't win. I have a real winner here.
Okay. See, I knew we talked about him faking us out earlier in the show, and he actually did it.
He did it. You're right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the lightsabers didn't show their colors, but Marcus actually has a purple kyber crystal in his. So he's got the purple lightsaber.
Gotcha.
Which I thought, oh, that'd be great for this. And it didn't show up very well. It's all white. But so anyway, the actual winner with 7 votes is Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Man.
First time I voted for good old Raza.
Yeah.
I thought this was a pretty stunning cover. I'm curious to see what it'll look like in person.
Yeah. These the covers for this series are just really, really cool.
Yeah, it is a very cool cover. I didn't vote for that one though. It didn't make it in my cut. The only reason it didn't make it in my cut because I think it kind of washes itself out a little bit. Maybe it might be better when you actually have the cover in hand,
Yeah, for when you're looking at it, you actually have to pay attention to it. It's not one you can just glance at. Just see Spider-Man in Demon Bear's mouth there. It's like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's that's the pick 3.
What happened to Nightwing?
Oh yeah, Nightwing only received 4 votes.
Yeah, put the 10 up again real quick, please. So yeah, man, I thought. Sorry, go ahead. What would you say?
I love Flash on that Nightwing cover.
Yeah, that Nightwing cover is a lot of fun. I thought it was great. Maybe just the plain of the, again, background being plain, obviously, which is what they're kind of going for in that cover. But maybe that's why it didn't win, with everything else being so even in the background heavy, you know. So maybe I don't know. Man, I love that Hulk cover too. That's awesome.
Yeah, I voted for that Hulk cover. Didn't make it.
And is that actually the White Queen, or is that Sinister? She's meant to look like Sinister with her armor and her cloak, right? I mean, right?
It's the storyline. I think.
Yeah, I'm not reading X-Men right now.
So they're just incorporating the storyline into have her dressed like that because of the storyline.
Gotcha. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's something to do with Mr. Sinister through all those books. Oh, good job, Mike.
Oh, Mike got them all. It's so funny you put that Yoda as the joke, Mike, because literally the first one I took out of the running for me was that Yoda cover.
Yeah,
that was my first drop.
You got us.
What'd you say? Sorry,
you got us. I was like,
yeah, you did.
Kidding me? Where'd that come from?
But yeah, that his face. I don't think his face is wonky. I don't know, But anyway.
Yeah, that one had 3 votes. Marcus, and then Lexi and Jesse.
Yeah. Well, Lexi, Mace Windu's her favorite Jedi, so you put Mace Windu in anything, she's gonna pick him. Yeah.
Yeah, and Marcus loves Mace as well, so that's why he picked him too.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Well, great work again, Mike. All right, rolling right along to keep things moving here since my cantankerousness took us like almost 2 hours for my episode alone. So sorry about that. Here we go. All right, looks like you're first, Mike.
Oh, I'm gonna have to skip.
What?
I actually didn't get anything read.
You didn't get anything read because you were too good, enjoying your life too much.
Yeah, and then the book that I want to review is Chroma. That's a 40-some page book. And then I was like, I'm never gonna get through that and do a proper review. So next week I'll have that ready. You're muted, Kevin.
Oh crap! Thanks.
Yeah,
I finished my journey through Batman, the World. I did the first 7, I think, and then I did 2. So I've got I finished the last 5 stories in Batman the World. To refresh everyone's memory, Batman the World is 14 short stories written by artists, or written by writers and drawn by artists from all over the world, and trying to get different regions and cultures' perspectives on Batman. So I thought it was a really cool concept. So I grabbed this immediately, and like I said, I've already reviewed the first 9 and finished the last 5. And the first one of the last 5 actually takes place in Mexico, and I thought that was another interesting thing too. I didn't think about until I was reading this later that, like the Marvel universe kind of overlaps with the real world, right? But DC's kind of all fiction. I mean, like Metropolis, Gotham City, right? It's like doesn't overlap with the real world, right?
Yeah, I mean, not as much as Marvel's does. I think they're loosely based on real cities, but not, as spot on as Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it was pretty interesting where, and definitely a theme throughout this whole book is Batman is going to the locations of the writers that are writing. I guess that's an easy way for them to kind of incorporate Batman into of course, their culture, and their impressions of Batman in general. But Batman heads to Mexico City for business, and of course gets wrapped up in some real basic corruption. And actually no, that's actually the next one. In Mexico, he sees this woman that's being attacked, and he wants to stop and save her, but she disappears, and then come to find out she's actually I guess, and again, it's also interesting to me with all these stories. I don't know whether this is actually real Mexican lore or this is just something that the writer of this invented this just specifically for this story. But I guess there's this lady that everybody there's it's like Bigfoot. A lot of people have claimed to have seen her. There's this ghost of this lady, and Bruce sees her, and he starts to investigate exactly where she is, what happened to her, because he saw her being attacked and everything. Then come to find out she actually is a ghost, and she actually starts to use Batman to find her corpse so she can be released into heaven or something like that. So it's real not a lot of meat to the story. It's just him helping this ghost find her corpse, and he does so and kind of releases her. The next one takes place in Brazil. It's a real basic, fighting corruption in the government and, kind of big corporations because they're obviously oppressing and taking advantage of the poor people of Brazil. And there really not much happens in this one either. It just kind of ends on this note of it's really hard to understand what it's like being oppressed, I guess, in Brazil. This one kind of does get a little political too. I didn't really enjoy this one too much because, as I've stated before, I can't remember which one earlier in this book got really political that I really didn't like. And when I say political like this, I'm talking about like modern day kind of politics. This Brazil story does that same kind of thing. Then we head to South Korea for the next one, and this one I really love the art in this one. As you can imagine, it's kind of got the kind of manga style kind of art, and this one's kind of more of a basic straight up kind of Batman story where there is a baddie that he needs to fight, this specific kind of samurai. If I say that wrong, ninjas are Japan, samurai are China, right? Something like that. But basically, basically he just has to beat that guy, and eventually he does. And China is after that. And this one really gets in kind of modern day manga style, which was really kind of surprising. I would have expected the Japan one to be more like that, but the China one is like that, But anyway, this one follows Batman just visiting China, and there's a waitress he comes across that really is a big Batman fan. Like, she has Batman action figures and Batman. She loves Batman stories, and he's a big hero to her. And the Chinese government is trying to squash anybody loving Batman because he's a vigilante. So they kind of portray him as a bad guy. And they actually, someone kind of uses Wayne Enterprises to buy up this property in China and do nefarious things with it. Batman finds out, of course, and then, of course, he has control over that. So all he has to do is go beat the bad guys out of the way. And the girl that's a big fan of his kind of dons a Robin costume and helps him out. She's like this martial art champion of teenage martial art champion too. So she can kind of defend herself too. So it's kind of a real pretty basic kind of action beat 'em up kind of Batman story, which again I like those. So that was pretty good too out of China. And then lastly, out of Japan, this is a completely black and white story, and the Batman in this looks totally like kind of a stiff, rigid faced mask. It doesn't have his part of his mask or part of his mouth coming out. It's kind of a, you know what I'm talking about with those kind
like
of
Green Goblin and Spider-Man.
Yes, like Green Goblin and Spider-Man, kind of a real rigid mask like that. And I would say actually out of all the stories, I probably like this one the least, because literally nothing happens except for this one artist in Japan, Japan is drawing Batman stories, making his own stories about kind of Batman fighting crime, and the government's trying to shut him down too. They don't want people to love Batman there either. So Batman actually tracks this guy. He's kind of an anonymous artist. So Batman kind of tracks this artist down to tell him, stop drawing me, because it's going to get you in big trouble and you're going to get killed. So then it's kind of like this metaphorical story at the end where once Batman confronts him, he's like, no, I won't stop. I'm just like you. If I can't do what I do and risk my life for what I think is right, who are you to tell me, like that. And Batman concedes and is like, you're right. Sorry, I was being a hypocrite. And that kind of ends it. So really nothing happens in that one. So
well, it seems like the real bad guys are the government in a lot of these.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely seems like that's the trend from most of the stories from other places in the world. But yeah, this was 14 stories. I think if my math is correct, I enjoyed 11 of them immensely, with 3 of them being just subpar but not horrible, in my opinion, with only one that I would say I shouldn't even have been in here as far as my enjoyment factor of it is concerned. But overall, giving Batman the World not a must-have, but a strong get it. So that's all I got.
Very good. Yeah, you mentioned Bigfoot, so now I want Batman versus Bigfoot, and actually, there was the Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries that came out last year had a Batman and Bigfoot issue, so I'm going to dig that out and review that next week.
Is that the only one?
I think there are others. I think there's other stuff with Batman and Bigfoot, but I want a legitimate Batman versus Bigfoot crossover.
Well, as soon as they come up with a Batman for Unmatched, we can fight Batman and Bigfoot there.
That's true.
But yeah. All right, Pat, what do you got? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, there he is. Angry Thing's back.
Yeah.
Not too happy about your Wakanda review.
I'm going to talk about Becoming Frankenstein. This is by 10 Ton Press. Don't confuse this with Frankenstein New World that I talked about, way back in like August or September. Just a quick little get it or forget it on this series. I was very disappointed in the series as a whole. It kind of went nowhere.
Really?
Yeah. Becoming Frankenstein, it sort of focuses on Victor Frankenstein's college days through the creation of the monster, with a lot of flash forwards and flash backwards, I guess. So, flashbacks, based right on the sort of a prequel to the Mary Shelley novel. So where this is going. It's just kind of interesting to fill in some of the backstory. And kind of gonna, I'm kind of gonna stitch together this review from a lot of different
I get it.
Idea. Pun intended.
Yeah, get it. Thank you. Wait. There it is.
10-minute laugh track.
This has a weird history. It was announced back in 2018 And it was supposed to be, the writers were Mel Smith and Paul Birch. Not familiar. The artists were supposed to be Craig Hamilton and Larry Welch. And the colorists, if you're at all familiar with Cerebus, the aardvark, his background artist and colorist on that series was a fellow by the name of Gerhard. One named wonder, I guess. His backgrounds are amazing. And he colored all the covers for Dave Sims' Cerebus book as well. In fact, I got a really nice hardcover that collects all the Cerebus covers, and it's really cool to have them all in one big book like that.
Yeah, his part was my favorite part of that book.
Yeah. And so something happened. They lost Craig Hamilton as the artist, and they brought on Frank Soroka. Soroka. And I haven't seen much from him lately. Back in the day, he's co-creator of Alien Legion, and it's funny, because I was familiar with him from the comic world back in the mid 80s, and he would pop up on video game art, such as the classic Athena for the Nintendo, which is a really weird game, but the cover art to this game I thought was just awesome. It was one of those things that would suck you in with the cover art, and the game would let you down.
Yeah.
But his signature was always really recognizable to me. It was that little box there with the FC in it, and you can see it, on here at the bottom of the Becoming Frankenstein. So that Gerhard and Frank Soroka sort of, plus Frankenstein, sort of set me off, and I'm going to pre-order this. And not familiar with 10 Ton Press really. And this goes back to the Red Man comic I talked about. Right out of the gate, this came out with this nice cardstock cover, but the paper quality in the interiors it was not up to that. Same with Red Man. It's more like a throwback to the old newsprint of the comics from the 70s and 80s, which unfortunately I think is detrimental to Gerhard's coloring. The modern, more modern coloring just I don't hold up to the old newsprint methods. And it got even worse because it did the same thing. You get to issue 4, goodbye cardstock cover, and the interior paper even was worse than it had been the first 3 issues.
Jeez.
And this is the first time I've ever seen this in a comic. We're all familiar with how the comics are put together. They're printed on both sides of a sheet of paper, folded in half, stapled in the middle. Apparently, they couldn't get enough advertising or no advertising because instead of leaving blank pages, they just cut the edge off one side of the paper that didn't have anything printed on it. As if, think of it like the piece of paper is folded over, stapled in the middle. They trimmed it right near the staple, just enough so the staple could hold the book together.
Oh, geez.
You following? Isn't that?
Yeah. That's crazy.
And I at first I was like,
reduce the pages it's printed on, right? Why would they just do that?
Especially because it's an even number of pages that they're getting rid of. They could have easily just ditched 2 sheets of paper, basically.
Right.
I don't know. And at first, I thought, is this an error copy? Did this manufacturing process, did I lose 2 pages? But no, it's in the middle of the book too, by the way. It's not at the end of the book. Probably better for them to hold the book together, but I was like, I've never seen this. The story's all there though. In the 5th issue, the same thing. So it's a practice of theirs, I guess. I don't know.
Wow. That makes me want it.
It's weird. There's all kinds of weirdness to this, and
it must be that must be a cheaper process for them, I guess.
Yes, they're so small. Maybe that's how they did it.
Yeah.
I don't know, or they're just not up on how to do things properly. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's the other side. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it could be. Oddly enough, here's the cover to number 1. Oddly enough, here is a variant cover to number 1 with the original announced artist Craig Hamilton. So they didn't want to let that cover go to waste. I guess.
They paid for it.
Yeah. Then the other odd thing is, here's number 2. I'm reading that, and you get to the end, and each issue has like a little afterword. Somebody, a guest artist or writer coming in to talk about Frankenstein, or the actual Becoming Frankenstein book, and they have the artist in the second issue. Oh shoot, I don't have his name written down here. But he's talking about this cover he did for this issue, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is Frank Soroka here on number 2. Like, why? What is he talking about? He says Becoming Frankenstein number 2, and here I good old internet. I looked it up, and he did a variant cover. He was talking about the variant cover, but they didn't even mention that, and I'm like, come on, guys, get your act together.
Attention to detail.
Right. All it would have taken was like a little, just a little thumbnail of his variant cover that he's discussing in this afterward. But yeah, well, so we'll run through. Here's number 3. Here's number 4. Unfortunately, some of the cover grabs, I couldn't find real good cover quality high res images. Number 5. And the kick in the butt was I went to read number 6, and I don't have number 6 yet. So this is just a partial review, but we all know where the story is going anyway. And then
I was going to say how much of Becoming Frankenstein it could be when it looks like he's got the monster with him in part 2 in number 2.
Yeah. Well, so like I said, he's sort of flash forwarding. He'll be talking about things in his past, but it'll show the monster's actions, in quote unquote present day at the time, after he had been created. And I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this, just in another level of weirdness. About issue 4, I saw Dave Johnson post what he said was the cover to the collected edition. I was like, dang, I probably just should have waited, get the trade paperback, because I think that's a great cover.
Yeah, that's a great cover. They all pretty nice though. Yeah.
And even so I must have missed it. I'm classic Patrick at missing out on. It's hard when these things are in the back of the catalog, and you're going through all that, and these little tiny publishers, sometimes they don't even have pictures, but they did solicit the trade paperback, and here's the cover. So,
what?
I don't know. I went back and dug up Dave's post, and commented on it. Asked him if he knew what was going on. He did this. He hasn't replied back, or nobody else has chimed in. So I don't know what's going on.
That's a terrible cover.
Yeah, it's Frank Soroka, the artist of the whole thing. But I don't know if it almost seems like they isolated a panel or something. And
well, I'm going to disagree. I wouldn't say that's a terrible cover, but yeah, I do agree that the other ones most of the other ones seem better. Yeah.
Yeah. When you compare it to all the other ones, and then now this is the trade, this is supposed to collect everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially having Dave Johnson's cover available.
It's a terrible choice. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. It's a terrible choice.
I
don't like the variant covers, but I do like the A covers. Those are great. I really want these because I'm a big fan of Frankenstein as well.
Yeah.
And I want these.
Right. I mean, that cover right there would have been better choice to me for a trade paperback than what they went with. Yeah. I will say though that trade paperback comes out next month, so maybe that was just a placeholder. I don't know. That's what happens when you're dealing with a smaller publisher like this. I think.
Right.
You don't really know.
And sometimes, who knows? Sometimes their choices are made because their hands kind of forced financially, or it's a lot of difficulties we don't know.
Yeah. But bottom line, it's a get it. If you like the novel by Mary Shelley, this is very interesting. It's I think a lot of people might find it a little boring because it's a lot of dealing with him in school and getting out, but it is kind of interesting. You kind of see where he sort of aligned himself with people to get him materials, we'll say, to do his experiment. And it's interesting. It holds your attention. It's wordy. I would say the art is not always flashy or spectacular, and unfortunately, I think the coloring too. The paper stock, not the coloring, because I feel like he did a good job coloring it. It just doesn't. It looks drab and kind of dull. Some of the pages almost look. And at first, I thought maybe it was a flashback, current day sort of thing where they were using black and white for the flashback, but it's not. It's just all kind of looks washed out. So Kevin, you probably wouldn't be a fan.
I was going to ask about that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask about the style of the interior. Is it, aside from the coloring, does it match the, the art of the cover? Did you say the artist and the interiors are the same? Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Same cover artist that does the interior. So
okay.
He's always Frank Soroka, going back to those video game covers and so forth, the Alien Legion cover, he's always been very strong in his graphic design. So, I think his covers are probably a little more, they stand out a little bit more than his interior work would, but it definitely is on the same page. You're going to get it the same kind of look, same kind of quality, same kind of, he's a good storyteller too. So no issues there. It's just the whole book. I think, it comes down to it. Small publisher, not much money behind it. It could have benefited for more, a more quality production, but it's a good book. So to
you say the collected, is it a trade paperback or is it hardcover?
It is a trade paperback from what I could see. Okay. Yeah.
And I could see that being a small publisher. Hopefully the paper quality is a higher quality. So we get the good colors there.
Yeah. I just don't know, and I don't know. I'm not familiar with their other work, so it's hard to say what their collected editions are like either. So,
and then even tracking it down, I highly doubt that our stores, any of the 3 or 4 that we can go to, I wouldn't lay money that any of them got it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Everybody has to be so selective on what they buy for the store.
Yep. Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely a hard sell, but if you're a Frankenstein fan, I think you'd probably like it for sure.
Is Frankenstein like no one owns it, so anybody can say or do whatever they want with it? Could I write a Frankenstein story? You know what I mean? Is there anybody to buy the rights of Frankenstein storytelling from?
Gets into that public domain thing, probably.
Yeah. I think it depends on also how you like the Universal Monsters. You can't use
their
version of it. That's why you go look at the Hammer films, and their Frankenstein's monster doesn't resemble the Universal Frankenstein's monster. That's what's so cool about the Hammer films is you get the same story, just a different view.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about it. They're obviously writing, lore from the past. They can just make up whatever they want. Yeah,
it's like fanfic,
Yeah. And I actually wanted to clear something else up really quick. Not that anyone asked, but I want to say this anyway. That, when I talk about what I'm reading and what I expect, and if it's kind of slow going, I need some action and stuff like, if it's lore, I love getting backstories of stuff.
Yeah, you said that. Yep.
Okay, if that's all slow and dramatic and stuff like that, I can dig that, So
it has a purpose. It's got to have purpose for you, right?
right, exactly.
Yeah, don't make me, slog through all this slow stuff and there's nothing there. I'm like, I did all that for nothing.
Right. All right, so Mike, you got nothing to review, but Pat needs that break between him reviewing and then going into comics and collectibles. So Phil, what do you got? What do you got to say? What interesting in the 2 weeks you were away? And I know I know there's limited things there, but just what interesting in the 2 weeks away can you tell us that happened?
Well, there's one thing I mentioned in our private group, the Disney 100th anniversary covers that Marvel's doing. Initially, when I saw those, it said Fantastic Four and Avengers. I'm like, well, that's stupid. They're not even putting them on those books. Like there's put the Fantastic Four on the Fantastic Four. But then I started looking into it a little bit more, and I actually like what they're doing. They're only on Amazing Spider-Man books. I think it started with number 17, and it's the odd number books. So 17, 19, 21, 23, 25. There's going to be 12 of them, and I'm all in now. I think they look great. And also, if you're looking for the collectability of them, you know, it's got that crossover appeal. You've got the Disney fans. There are people that just, if it has Disney on it, they go after it. And then what
especially
really
that classic Disney. Yeah.
yeah. Let me pull up my picture. I can't remember which cover it was. I think it was the Infinity. Yeah, the Infinity Gauntlet number 1. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. I should, but look at Goofy as Spider-Man. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Yeah, I like them all too, and I think you've influenced me, because what else is kind of funny about this is the fact that the only one I found was Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
the only one that Patrick talked about that he wants is the Fantastic Four, and the only one you didn't get was Fantastic Four.
Correct. Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah, because when I did our order for Xcellar books, yeah, I'm like, oh, let me get this Avengers, it's Amazing Spider-Man book. So I ordered that one as the variant, and then the next month I didn't, because I lost interest in it, forgot about it, all that stuff. So I didn't get the Fantastic Four. And then when I opened that box, and I'm sitting there looking at it, going, okay, yeah, this is actually really great. So we've made adjustments now.
And to make this clear too, that's an amazing. Oh, and you might have said that. I had to step away for a second. You might have said that. This is an Amazing Spider-Man book.
Yeah, they're all Amazing Spider-Man books. Yeah,
so funny.
They're all going to be on Amazing Spider-Man books, which makes it kind of easier to get, because let's say, I get Amazing Spider-Man already.
Yeah,
but I don't get any of the other books, so now I can just get the variant if I want. But we're
you get Avengers.
No, I don't get Avengers.
Huh. Okay.
Huh.
Anyway.
I get Savage Avengers. But we're gonna put a set together. It's 12 issues. We'll put a set together, and I think that'll be great.
I think it'll be great too. Yeah. So. And if I can get another copy of that Fantastic Four, I'll grab it for you, Pat.
All right. Yeah, I haven't even looked for it. I don't think it was an open order variant, right? You could. So there should be.
The color ones are open order. There are black and white 1 in 100 variants.
Yeah.
Overpriced. They don't look very good, in my opinion. I think the color versions look way better.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did it that way. I'm glad that they didn't make the color version 1 in 100, because then.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be getting them.
Yeah, your post definitely sold me on them more, though. Did you post that on the public page or just the group page?
Yeah, it's on Xcellar.
Public
page.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That definitely sold me on it. So.
Yeah.
All right, that was a good filler. Are you ready now, Pat?
I am ready.
We always got something to talk about, right?
Karen's timing is getting very good. Thank you, Karen, for your timing on those. Now it's awesome. And I will do better to get you better sound effects. I'm gonna work on that today. Swear to God. You'll have some tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, not tomorrow. Next week. I don't know how many, but some. So here we go. Let's get into everyone's favorite segment of comics and collectibles in the crawl space. Collectibles on the horizon. All right, Pat, take it away.
All right. We're going to sort of go back and talk about something we talked about last week real quickly, because the Funko Collector Con announced the Spider-Man 300 pop comic cover of the classic McFarlane cover. The real reason I wanted to mention is because we talked about them being out of the box, and I kind of looked at that. I don't know if anybody else did, but when you do take them out of the box, they have a nice acrylic shell, and so you can see the Wolverine there in and out of the box. So they're pretty nice out of the box too.
Yeah, that is pretty nice. Yeah.
Okay, and then going on to our other good friend recently, Todd McFarlane, he announced the Dark Knight trilogy multiverse figures in the 7-inch scale line.
Those are nice.
Yeah, those look really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm not a fan, but I know you guys love it. So Bane is the Build-A-Figure in this wave. So you get the 4 figures, you build Bane. And
that's pretty cool.
The typical McFarlane price point, they're $25.
I'm out.
Find them cheap. You might find them cheaper at Walmart, Target. I'm not sure what they're probably 22, 23 there, but
yeah, it's like Shark Tank. I'm out.
I'm probably gonna grab all these. Yeah, I like
that.
And
I'll tell you and anybody else listening, as of Friday, McFarlane store. I don't know what they charge for shipping, but they had a deal where you buy the whole wave. I think it was $89.99. So.
Oh, that is a deal. Yeah.
Depending on
that's what I'm talking about. You put a whole wave together, it should be cheaper than if I buy them separately. Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And we'll stay on McFarlane and Target. They announced this exclusive Impulse for Target. I think this is a well done figure, but he looks a little too big for me. Impulse was a teenager, and you can't really get it from these shots, but he looked a little. There he is. Bostic's back.
Lost in the basket. Thank you.
And then this Project Superman. I'm not familiar with this. Maybe you guys are.
No, I'm not.
I'm not sure
where he's never seen that from. Before.
He is part of a Cyborg Build-A-Figure wave, which they haven't announced all the figures in that wave. I guess this was just sort of a early look, but for some reason he's a Target exclusive, so I don't know how that's going to work with a Build-A-Figure wave. You can see Cyborg up there behind
anybody in the audience familiar with this? I guess that was a way from saying, "Hey, what's up?" What's up, Lawson? Yeah, if anybody's familiar with this, fill us in. Yeah, never seen that before.
Yeah, and then McFarlane, he was doing DC page. Go ahead.
Let me just add this: that I don't like it. It doesn't look cool. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I imagine this is for fans of the character. If you don't like the character, you're probably out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. I don't know what, I have no backstory or I don't know anything about it. I think it's kind of cool.
It's a little Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah. It looks like an apple, a yellow apple on his chest too. With that one as the step.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't like it.
Bostic says maybe Cyborg Kate Moss heroin chick. I don't know.
So Page McFarlane has done the DC page punchers. Now he's getting Spawn on the bandwagon. So here you go, Kevin.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's a double.
Yeah, it's a 2-pack, which is kind of cool. They are $17 retail, and you get 2. The DC were at $9, $9.99, $10 for 1. So of course they don't have to pay the DC license to McFarlane for these guys. There's a Spawn and Anti-Spawn and a Gunslinger Spawn and Augur.
Nice. I'm actually becoming a bigger. Sorry.
I like the Gunslinger Spawn just because I like cowboy hats and.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm becoming a bigger fan of Redeemer too, so that's a perfect 2-pack for me. I just grabbed the last figure I grabbed was actually a Redeemer, a full-size figure.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of these page punchers, and they look really cool there. But man, when you get them in your hand, they're just so tiny.
Yeah, they are. I would. Yeah, you'd never bust them out, because they're so small. But
yeah, and again, like the other page punchers that come with a comic book, that's sort of doubles for the backer card. So that's
I
cool.
guarantee I've got 18 copies with 18 different covers of that comic book.
What is this? Probably now Spawn double Z or something like that.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, we actually were. Yeah, we talked about that once with a random Spawn cover that I never knew existed recently. And yeah, there's so many. It's so crazy how many different covers there are for it.
Yeah. We'll go over to Hasbro for their next wave of D&D figures. Eric, Sheila, and Presto.
So super jealous. I'm in a group that, I think Johnny got me in for these, and everybody's showing all these off. They've got them all, or they pre-ordered them, and man, I'm so jealous. I haven't even seen. I'm not gonna get them until I see them in stores, unless I completely miss the boat and I have to go aftermarket later. But I'm gonna grab them when I see them in stores. But I haven't seen any in stores yet. Have you, Pat?
I believe one day I saw the 2-pack from the first wave at Target.
Was that
Target
Dungeon Master and the
little guy? Yeah. Again, I was never into this. I don't think I've ever seen one episode when I was a kid. So.
Oh my God, man! It's
sorry,
so good.
It's a dagger.
I'm gonna have to loan you my DVD.
I've never watched it.
Oh, Mike, are you serious? It's so good.
I told you guys in the 80s, my brother and I watched Inspector Gadget, and that's it.
Oh, this is my top 5 of all time for sure. And it's so good. And just also too, I just found this out because of somebody in the group recently, because I'm slacking on my going to my DCBS orders the way I like to go, which is to go through every publisher and look at everything they're offering for that month. But IDW is actually putting out a Dungeons and Dragons, the animated cartoon comic book series. Issue 2, I think, was the post that someone put. Issue 2 comes out in May, so I'm just gonna have to get issue 1 off the shelf probably.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Lost it.
I've heard horror stories about people getting D&D figures and being broken or the wrong figure because you can't see what you're getting. No transparent plastic packaging. Yep, Bostic, we talk about that all the time. Yep.
Was wave
that
1
sucks
the same?
Hearing that with these though.
Was wave 1 the same packaging as these are?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's trash.
I know how you could have easily missed that comic, Kevin's, because IDW, who knows what's going on with them, but they don't even have previews of most of their covers these days.
Okay. That's probably part of it. Yeah, but I definitely want to grab those too, man. Because I love this. I'm serious. Both of you are missing out. Hopefully, you know how it goes. I mean, obviously, it's an '80s cartoon. You're gonna have to have your nostalgia bone activated to watch it to really appreciate it. So.
Yeah,
it's not high quality.
What's that?
I was just saying it's not high quality. It's typical.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say IDW. I think they just filed Chapter 11.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, continue, Pat. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Hasbro again. I'm not sure why these came out so close or right on top of the movie being announced. We'll do this one first. He's a Target exclusive comic book Ant-Man, Astonishing Ant-Man. No Build-A-Figure standalone release. But they announced the movie wave, the Quantumania wave. Ant-Man, Crossfire, comic book Crossfire.
Oh, I totally missed that on my What Kevin
Egghead.
Watched. Did you guys go out and see that this weekend?
No.
Ant-Man? No. Anyway.
Future Ant-Man.
I'm not familiar with Future Ant-Man at all. Has he been in continuity?
Was he in that new Ant-Man series, Mike? I think maybe.
I'm not reading it.
The one with the cool covers.
Yeah, I'm not reading it. I wished I'd have picked those up, but
looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kang from Quantumania, and Ultron comic book. They've released Ultron before. This is a different version. Wasp, and the Build-A-Figure is Cassie, Ant-Man's daughter. Stature in the comics, if you're familiar, but I don't know if she's gonna be called that in the movie.
I wasn't familiar with that.
Okay, moving on from Hasbro. Yeah, he does. He does look like Black Manta.
That's the first thing that popped into my head was just the shape of that the head there. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, moving on from Hasbro, we'll move to Super 7, and Mike kind of premiered this on the group this week. We have Little Sebastian from Parks and Rec. R.I.P. R.I.P. Little Sebastian.
Yeah, the song, I tear up when I hear the song.
Did you say you grabbed this, Mike? You already bought it?
No, I don't think it's out yet. I want that, but I mean, I've got my Burt Macklin sitting right here, and my Ron Swanson is down at Xcellar right now. It's hanging up, but this one's great. Look at that, all you collectors out there. Tag is still in it.
How'd that happen? Did they not have them on the pegs?
I got it for Christmas. So
okay.
So Santa's he's cornered the market.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah.
That is worth something too, right? Seriously though, with collectors, right? Yeah.
Yeah, some collectors.
Some people prefer them. Yep.
I think Patrick has a few. If you order from Amazon, usually they come like that.
Yeah. Unless they're bored at work at Amazon that day.
Yeah, and they pop them out just for
yeah. Pop.
This we showed Wave 2 of Parks and Rec, a few weeks back, but for some reason they held back on Little Sebastian. But here he is. He completes the Wave 2, and those should be out, sometime next year. He actually, no, he's the same, $20. Typical for Super 7's reaction figures. So they charge the same for humans and animals, apparently.
What is that picture on the left side of the box? Like, what is that just a pasture or an empty pasture or what?
It just mimics the intro, I think, to the show.
Oh, okay, I guess it's been a while since I've seen it. Yeah.
Sticking with Super 7, I never talked about these before, so I'm going to quickly show the earlier waves. They do Simpsons Ultimates.
Wow.
This is wave 1. Yeah, the price tag's a while too, Mike. And they have a slide. These are in the 6-inch scale, but they're cartoon characters, so they kind of vary. And they also which is sort of different from most lines, they have sort of a sliding scale. The bigger the figure, the bigger the price tag. There's wave 2, wave 3.
Yeah, come here, Mark. Mark just came in. He wants these.
When you said the price tag's high, are you talking about the aftermarket or retail?
Retail.
What is it? Retail?
Well, I'll let you know when I get to the.
Okay, yes. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to spoil it.
Yeah, no problem. They're not outrageous, but they're outrageous. It's Super 7. Is he there? I can't see him. Is he cut off? Is he watching? Mark?
Yeah, he's right here.
Okay, so there's wave 1. Again, wave 2. Wave 3.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and I imagine Kang and Kodos are probably really expensive. I didn't dig up because that's the last wave, so I didn't look up information on them. But here, this is the wave they just announced, wave 4, which has double Ned Flanders, Radioactive Man, King Size Homer, they're calling him. I always thought they referred to him as Obese Homer, and Dredrick Tatum. So as you can see, they come with a lot of swap out accessories, different heads. This wave 4, I didn't write out every individual cost, but they range into between 55 and 65 for these guys.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Super 7. I mean, I don't know.
That is a lot. Yeah.
And actually,
that's per figure. That's not for like a
Yeah.
set or anything. That's per figure.
Per figure, yes, per
Yes.
figure.
Well,
Yeah,
I've got other Simpsons figures you have to get.
You know what though? It'd probably be worth it. 10 years from now, you'll probably be able to sell it for $500. Yeah.
I guarantee that they're definitely gonna go up in value if you're so inclined. It's Simpsons, plus it's Super 7. They're sort of a niche company, so yeah, and they're well done. Although Wave 1 hit probably last month, and for the most part, the reviews are favorable, but you can't see it here. They don't. Maybe they've edited the picture in the meantime, but Mo was supposed to have an apron, a cloth apron, and he shipped without it. And everybody was like, "Where's my apron?" So if you write into them, they are sending out aprons for your
cloth apron. You get a little envelope with a cloth apron. That's funny.
Especially if it's a cloth apron, you could just make it.
Yeah.
It'd be probably be so easy to make. Yeah.
Well, they had to hire some guy. It's like, what do you do? I work at Super 7. I stuff cloth aprons in an envelope.
And I dropped the ball, so they fired me.
All right. And the last thing to wrap up this sort of overcrowded list for today is Four Horsemen Studios. They're a sculpting group. They've been around. They worked for McFarlane for a long number of years. But they split out on their own, and they do phenomenal sculpting. They started their own line a few years back called Mythic Legions. They've gone on to doing Cosmic Legions. This is part of their Figure Obscure line, and this is actually the second version. I totally missed the boat. Didn't see this. Not that I'd probably be buying these anyway, but I never knew of these until this week when they announced the variant. But here's last year's Headless Horseman figure, which I think is just awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah. He came out last year, $120. I mean, these are pricey. I mean, it's a figure and a horse. It's a pretty big articulated horse. So they're, I think, 6-inch scale figures. This I think it commands a pretty high price on the secondary market. People are after this, but they announced this variant coming out. It's like it has glow in the dark accents. I don't know. I think you can make an argument that I kind of like this second version a little better. Maybe, I don't know.
I like the second one better. The orange and the green. The orange inside the cape, and then the green. I like that one. I'd put my money on that one.
Well, you'll have to put $20 more of your money because it's $140. I feel like I'm the bearer of bad news all the time on the horizon. Because, it's like I show everybody all this cool stuff and I drop the price tag and it's like, oh well.
Let's say Patrick's segment is going to be called "Look at all this cool stuff that you can't afford."
So the first one was 120. You said though the first one's 120 and this one's 140.
Yes, correct. He comes with a couple more accessories.
What size are these?
6-inch scale. Ooh. Like Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black scale.
Yeah.
Man, I'm actually. This doesn't seem like a crazy price for this though. It seems awesome. And you're getting if 6-inch, then that horse is how big, So
yeah,
it seems like as far as when you do drop the bomb on us with prices, this one seems like it'd be the most reasonable in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They train us to expect these high prices.
Yeah. If you are so inclined, like I mentioned, they started out initially is they would kickstart these lines, but now I think they do pre-orders. I don't know for sure if they offer this stuff through previews. I think they're still, you have to go to their website, Four Horsemen's website, storehorseman.com. And I think you have to pre-order. And I, for some reason, I'm thinking you have to really be quick on the trigger and get your pre-orders in because they sell out fairly quickly and the pre-orders fill up. But yeah, so.
And I imagine he sits on the horse as well. It looks like a cloth cape.
Yep. So that's my tease about losing your head over the collectibles this week. And that's it for the Horizon.
Oh my God. That was awesome. I think being away a couple weeks, we've done a good job of making a splash coming back. You did a great job with Cover Combat 3, Mike.
Oh, thanks.
You did a great job with Collectibles on the Horizon, Pat. And I'm gonna say I was at least passionate about what Kevin watched today. So great stuff. Okay. And it shows. What are we at? We're close. We're creeping on 3 hours here. All right, let's get into our final segment then. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm first.
All right, you're up first, Mike.
Right. This goes back to what Kevin watched. No need to stay up late to watch Awake. You can go ahead and go sleep.
Nice.
Yeah, we learned that Mike, here he is. Mike is a trickster.
That's what I was gonna go with that one. But you know what else we learned? We apparently learned that it's classic Patrick that he misses stuff. That's a classic Patrick thing, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
When you said that, I was like, I didn't think that was classic, but I'm gonna run with it.
Yeah, he missed the what did I just order for you?
Amazing Spider-Man and Walking Dead.
Yeah, the Hard Items
Walking
Dead.
Yeah.
Kevin watches TV angry.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, same line of thinking. I had. It was a last minute change. Kevin is either passionate or cantankerous. You decide.
Right. I'll go with that. Yeah. Never underestimate missing the major actors or movies that have tons of actors and actresses you may know. Look for them because they exist and you didn't know it.
Yep. This is for Cover Combat 3. David Finch is the new art germ. Oh, and then this is a note. Art Germ's first cover work was January 2007, so it did fall within the parameters here. And his first DC artwork was July 2009, cover art.
But he was officially shut out.
Yeah. When you look at those covers, they're not that great. I mean, it's good artwork, but it's nothing.
He was finding his style still.
Yeah.
Nothing Cover Combat worthy. Got it. Yeah.
No. I really don't have anything else, but I'd just say, for judging from Kevin's movie reviews, Earth still has no hope.
Right.
It's an ongoing thing. We can just say it every week.
Yeah. What movie did you watch where the human race has destroyed the planet?
Yeah, and then I list off 100, right? Yeah. You know, on that same note, I've been saying this to Jesse a lot lately that, you know, where is the movie where aliens come down and they're good guys and they want to help us? That doesn't happen either. You know, and she actually cited E.T. And I was like, well, that was kind of, you know, they didn't really come here to help us. It was an accident. You know, they were coming here.
They'll be back. Don't worry. Just wait.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really have any. I only had a couple notes too, and Pat stole mine too. So I think I'm out early today too. Mike, you got another one?
No. Just, that's it.
You got to close out, Pat?
I was disappointed because the colors didn't come up on these.
So that's purple. We just can't see it.
No, this one's green, and it won't. You can barely see a green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark's is purple. It actually shows up a little bit better. Hold on.
Oh, wait, yeah, they're a little tiny bit.
Yeah, there.
Get that purple hue, yeah, gotcha.
But in real life, it's very purple. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Those too many is like, oh, I hear a battle going on.
No, I'm watching on my phone.
Oh, that's right. He's watching on his phone.
Uh-oh.
So anyway, yeah, that's all I got.
Okay.
I'll get the Cover Combat 3 round 2 picks up on the Facebook page here shortly.
Okay, can't wait to vote that Catwoman out. I should have done that for part of my recap too. I discovered today I'm apparently not an Adam Hughes fan.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anyway, in closing here, please like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe and hit that bell to get notifications. Please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Anchor by Spotify or many other podcast providers. And please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify as early as today, but will be posted no later than tomorrow. Follow XcellarComics on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter, and follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. And watch our show on the Whatnot app on Friday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can bookmark that show now. I would really appreciate it. We actually had a great show. I've got a couple guys that are paying attention and coming to the show and stealing up all these great deals. No joke. I'm looking to get a couple more people in there so I can at least get a couple more bucks for all these great books that we're parting ways with. But man, there's a lot of great deals. And I had a great thing happen. I meant to tell you to this. I don't know when the last time you checked out the show yourselves was, but I actually have a bonus business card in our mystery short box, to where one book in the mystery short box has our business card in the back of it. And if you find that book, you get and it changes once I sell them. There's going to be many of these, but the first time it's found, the winner gets the 4-book 30th anniversary holographic cover Spider-Man lot, which includes Spider-Man 2099. And no one's found it yet. Oh, I should say this. No one found it until this past weekend. But the kicker is, when I do a giveaway, I give away a pull from the mystery short box. But I put as a caveat on that giveaway, the business card bonus, that's not included. You're just winning a free pull. Well, the person that won a free pull found the business card. I was like, see, if you would have just paid $10 for my last lot that I showed and picked that same number in the mystery short box, they'd also won that Spidey lot. It was a pretty cool moment. So, because there was a guy, shout out to Steve 007. He was basically there the entire show, this past show. And I love that when I've got somebody in the chat that's really participating with me, makes me enjoy the show so much. And I learned a new trick with Whatnot. And I don't know if this really is interesting to you or not, but psychologically, I found this to be pretty interesting. My watchers will flux between 2 to 10 viewers. And I find that affects my personality, right? So I actually took a piece of tape and I covered up the little spot that shows how many people are watching.
Yeah.
So I'm just this same guy through the entire show. And I find it a lot more fun that way, because when it drops to 2, I'm always like, it kind of gets me down or whatever, you know what I mean? That kind of thing, so it's a psychological game I play with myself, basically, But anyway, so check out the Whatnot show. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun, and literally there are a lot of great deals. There's still a lot of good deals to be had from the mystery short box, as well as the current high bidder on the mystery short box is only $30. And the high bidder, once that mystery short box is emptied automatically gets the first appearance of Carnage 3-book Amazing Spider-Man lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
those are great lots. I mean,
they are. I know it makes me. I know after the show you're going to be like, Kevin, literally, you're giving too much away. Just stop it. I know, but this is what I do. So come to Whatnot if you don't believe me and check it out. So
yeah.
Also check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and XcellarComics.com. And we put up a bunch of our slab books on eBay this past week. So if you've seen what we revealed with our slab books on this show, those are available now.
Yeah, we've got 2 more. I meant to tell you to take this home since I opened the last ones. You can open those.
Okay.
Week, and then we'll get those listed as well.
All right, cool. Okay. And then, of course, lastly, watch our next live stream next Sunday at 1:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a lot of fun with the Cover Combat 2 round 2 reveals and setting up for the next round after that, right?
Yep.
So don't forget to vote. And we've already set it up, so I might as well tell people we'll talk about what we're going to do for if whoever claims the champ starting next week as well. So that'll be exciting.
Yep.
So definitely show up for that. Y'all got anything else?
Nope. That's it.
All right, cool, everybody. Really appreciate you checking us out. Definitely help spread the word about our show. We have a lot of fun. The participation makes it 10 times better. So until next time, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome and reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.